wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. If you are watching the World Cup or you are potentially missing the World Cup, it was 1-1 between Brazil and Japan. This was a game that even the soccer casual as myself knew was going to be a very good game. Brazil, one of the marquee teams in this tournament. Japan had been very competitive so far in this tournament. I think if you had been keeping up, you knew this was going to be a very good game. Japan scored early. They were up 1-0. Brazil then scored, making it 1-1. And Brazil, in the 95th minute, scored a goal to make it 2-1. They are going to win and advance to the round of 16. What a match between Brazil and Japan. We got a lot of World Cup in today's show. The ratings are out. Kansas City is the #1 market for the World Cup. You guys are completely dialed into the world's greatest soccer event. We'll get to more about that coming up in just a bit. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here. Rob Brinton is here as well. Both of us went to the soccer game on Saturday at Arrowhead. We will give you our stories from being there. We'll do that in a bit. I got a little bit of football. We do have an update on Terrion Arnold. You guys remember I told you about the Terrion Arnold story. He allegedly set up 2 men to be robbed. He paid 2 girls to essentially set up a ménage à trois. The gentleman showed up with the young ladies. They hopped out of the closet, robbed these 2 people. It wasn't even the right people that he robbed. He was given bail today. He could participate in training camp. We'll get to that story. It's a lot going on right now in the NFL world. LeBron might team up with Steph Curry and Anthony Davis and Draymond Green. There is a lot happening right now. The match is now final between Brazil and Japan. 2-1 Brazil. They advance to the round of 16. Before we get going in today's show, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number 1, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number 2, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show, especially during the World Cup. I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. You know what? I would greatly appreciate that. And number 3, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the show is brought to you each day by our friends over at The Other Place. Today is a Burger and Brew Monday, so maybe you plan on watching a little bit of soccer today. Rob, do the Royals play later today? I have just kind of forgotten about their schedule. When you're getting beat 22-1, forgive me if I'm not really keeping up on your day-to-day happenings anymore. So you can watch a little bit of soccer later today. You can enjoy this weather that we're having right now. Go sit on a patio, go get yourself a burger, go get yourself a cold brew. You can do all that with our friends over at The Other Place at any one of the area 5 locations. So I want to begin today's show by telling you guys a story about how I spent my Saturday. Now, I was tempted to sell my tickets. I bought my tickets at face value directly from FIFA. They were $140. And as I was seeing, as the market was playing itself out, the market was telling me that these tickets that I bought were for $140. They were going for $550 to $600. I did have a thought, an inkling of selling these tickets. I started thinking of all the things I could do with that money. And you know what? I told myself, this will be the one World Cup game that you go to. You didn't want to spend the money to go see Messi with the hat trick. you don't really care enough to spend the money to go to the game on Friday or the game coming up in a couple of weeks on July 11th, you got your tickets at a good price, a fair price. You should go and experience this because this might be the only time you ever get a chance to go to the World Cup. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. So I made the decision that I was going to make it a World Cup Saturday. So let me tell you how I started off my day. Now, I did not know anything about this until about 3 days ago. But at the end of the show on Friday, if you were listening to it, Rob told me about a Croatian soccer watch party in Kansas City, Kansas, on Strawberry Hill. Now, I haven't spent a whole lot of time in this part of the city. I didn't really know where this church was, but Rob told me if you are committed to making it a soccer Saturday, you got to start your day here. So I rounded up my friends. We got in the car and we drove to KCK. And let me tell you, it was an absolute magical experience. The people there could not have been any nicer to me. Rob, they were feeding me all of this Croatian food. They were explaining it to me. I can't remember what any of it was called, but let me tell you, it was good. I even had some sauerkraut. I was doing what the locals do. I don't think I've had sauerkraut maybe since 1997. But I was like, you know what? If you want me to try it with the Polish sausage, I'll eat it. I was eating sauerkraut. I was eating Polish sausage. I was drinking Croatian beer. They handed me a list, and it was the national anthem. I was singing it with them. I bought a scarf that says Strawberry Hill on it. It was a magical time. I really enjoyed it. If you want to just watch the game with people that really, really appreciate what's going on, a good time, good drinks, at a good price, good vibe, good energy. They had a view of the city that I had never seen before. I would highly encourage you to go to St. John's. What's the official name of it, Rob? St. John's what?
St. John's Catholic, and I believe it's the Bowling Club is what it's called.
Okay, so I believe Croatia plays on Thursday. They play Thursday at 6 o'clock. I will be attending this. If it's like how it was the last time, sign me up for it. And now the games get even more important because they're in the knockout round. So immediately after the show on Thursday, that is where I will be. I will be attending this soccer watch party because it was a fantastic time. The people there were great. 2 thumbs up. Now, I did not take the shuttle. Rob took the shuttle, so I want Rob to tell you his story about taking the shuttle. I did what so many of us have done before. I made the decision to park at somebody's house and take the walk. Now, maybe the news has already done this. Like, you guys are really good at this kind of stuff. Text line 913-586-7965. I would love for somebody to do a news story or an E60 on the economy around Arrowhead Stadium. So we parked, I don't know, I would maybe say 2-3 blocks away from where the old Denny's used to be, a little bit up the street from, I believe it's called Hotel Lotus. And basically all of these houses had a sign outside that you could park in the driveway or on the grass. Some were 40, some were 50, some were 60, depending on how close you were. Now, you guys know me. I found one that was close, but not too close, and one that was cheap, but not too cheap. It was $25. Parked at a gentleman's house. He was super friendly. He was like, oh, hey, Carrington, hey, how's it going? Gave him the $25 in cash, told me to park right there, made the walk. Now, I didn't know it was like this because I obviously had never been. Rob, they had like 2 entrances for this thing. So you kind of entered in the parking lot of all of this. You didn't enter in like normally how you go to a Chiefs game up at the gate, they scan your ticket there. No, they scanned your ticket way before you had got there. So you scan your ticket. And I'm telling you, it is just people hanging out. There's kids playing soccer over here. There's a DJ. There's people going crazy. They're jumping up and down. They're having a good time. They're charging you $24 for a Michelob Ultra over here and $8 for a water over here. I did not want to participate in this. I did not know anything about this until I got out there. There's some long line for some free bracelet from Bank of America that we'll talk about. Rob waited in the line because Rob is an insane person to wait in that line for a bracelet. All of this is happening. And let me tell you, it was a great time. I was like, you know what? I made a really good decision not selling my tickets. I go to the game, and I never, ever would have guessed that I would have so much fun at a sporting event in which neither team won. it's kind of hard to explain unless you actually been to one of these World Cup games. I know by now a lot of you have been to one of these World Cup games. It wasn't intense really at all. Like if you've been to football games, especially in that building, there is a certain measure of drama that is attached to it. Like it gets tense in the third quarter, the fourth quarter on a critical third down when you know the Chiefs got to get off the field. If you've been to a college football game there, like there is a measure of drama that it's hard to explain, but you feel it if you are there. You feel the drama, the tension that I'm talking about. And maybe it's just football as a game. It felt like a preseason football game in terms of the atmosphere and the energy, but everybody is locked in. Everybody's dialed in. They're singing the entire time. They have so many different chants. I started thinking, like, as a Mizzou fan, all they got is M-I-Z, not these people. Algeria, they had a whole songbook of things that they were doing. Then Austria was singing and then going back and forth. And they were having a great time. Now, I will say, just for the actual soccer part, because all of the things around the soccer were amazing. The flags at the very beginning, the national anthem, the pageantry, all of it was really, really cool. Now, for the first 30 minutes of I'm sitting there watching it, and again, I'm no hashtag soccer expert, I thought we were in for some shenanigans. I really did. My friend looked at me and said, you just got to enjoy being here. I thought I'd signed up for 90 minutes of keep away. That first goal, Rob, you were there. The crowd didn't really get excited. It was almost like we thought that Austria scored on accident. Like they messed up. Like they knew they weren't supposed to score. So they're going back and forth. You guys by now probably know how the game went. It was 2-2. I feel everybody in attendance on Saturday had come to the same conclusion. Oh, this was a great time. Both fan bases are happy. Both fan bases are singing. Everybody is having a good time. I'm sure that this game is going to end 2-2, and I'm not mad at it. And for the last 30 minutes of the game, Austria, Algeria, I can't remember which one, they were playing the longest game, a keep away and just stalling and kicking the ball back to each other that you have potentially ever seen for about 30 minutes. But it wasn't even that big of a deal because they had already scored 4 goals between the two of them. It was a great time. And then Algeria just decided, you know what? No, why don't we try to win this game? And then all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, boom. It was like watching the Mighty Ducks. And then they score. And I'm thinking, hold on, that's how you get eliminated from the World Cup. Because my understanding, Robin, tell me if I'm wrong, both teams needed to draw if only one team won. So if there was a winner in the game, the other team was going to outright be eliminated. And I felt like at that moment, Algeria broke the code. That both teams said they were going to tie, and Algeria just said, no, we didn't sign up for that. And they went to go try to win the game. Now, if you were watching it, not just watching the highlights of it, Austria, they kicked the ball over the net, if I remember correctly. I thought that that was going to be the end of the game, and that's how they were going to get eliminated from the World Cup. But by some magical reason, I still don't really understand how the stoppage time worked. I don't really understand how the clock works in soccer, period. It says 95, but it's really not 95, and then they'll add 4 more minutes, but it's really not 4 minutes. It could be 8 minutes if they wanted to. Everything about soccer just seems to be a suggestion, like an idea. It's like a template for what the time should be. So they say 4 minutes on the clock. They kick the ball out of bounds. We're now past the 4 minutes. I assume that's the end of the game. No, they just decide, you know what? Why don't we give Austria one more chance? You know, we think they deserve one more chance. And let me tell you, I have been to a lot of sporting events in my life. I imagine you have been to a lot of sporting events in your life. I've never seen a final 30 seconds like I saw on Saturday. I still can't really believe what I saw. Just out of nowhere, they just decided, hey, we're going to score. For that guy to head the ball as it was about to go out of bounds and the other guy head it and they score and then they're both going to advance in the World Cup, it was one of the cooler sporting events I've ever been to. It's not my favorite sporting event I've ever been to. I understand in terms of importance it might be one of the biggest, but just in terms of being there, the environment, the celebration of the city, seeing these different cultures, seeing these different fan bases come together, and just the energy, the atmosphere was just so much different than going to a football game. It was intense. I didn't really see anybody acting crazy. I didn't see any fights. I didn't see any tension. Just everybody just seemed to be appreciative of where we were, the time, the moment, the situation, and what we were watching. For one day of my life, let me tell you, soccer was actually really, really cool. And I wish that more people got a chance to experience what I did on Saturday. From going to watch the party in Croatia and seeing them advance to watching a World Cup game and it being one of the more exciting games of the tournament. For one day, I was a soccer fan. And you know what? It was actually a lot of fun. Coming up on the other side, I want Rob to tell you his story about being there on Saturday. And I want to find out more about this bracelet mess that people have signed up for, because it is one of the wilder stories to come out of the World Cup. Keep it right here, so Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. Always trusting Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
At Shawnee Mission Ford right now, they're allowing you to get a big win, and that is employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Employee pricing for everyone on 25 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions. And you still get all the rebates and incentives offered from Ford on top of employee pricing, along with top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. Always trusting Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
I was telling you guys the story about my Saturday. So where I went to watch the Croatia game, it was Croatia against Ghana. It's at St. John's Catholic Church. It's in KCK. I went there on Saturday. They played at 4 o'clock to watch the Croatian game. And let me tell you, it was a great time. I highly encourage anybody who is interested in soccer, interested in a good time, good food, good drinks, to go out there and watch the game. 2 thumbs up experience for me. Then I went to the soccer game on Saturday, and it was actually a lot of fun. At the end of the game, seeing both fan bases so excited that they had advanced in the World Cup, the Algerian fans, they were having a time, let me tell you. Now, I don't know if they were just hanging out in the parking lot. Rob, did you see people with drums? Were they taking the drums into the stadium? Were they just hanging around outside? I didn't really understand how people just had these big drums outside, like not like the paint cans. You know, it's like somebody just playing sticks on a paint can and you just throw money in there. Like, no, these people had real percussion instruments. I was trying to figure out how that happened. Did they bring that over here? Did they buy it while they were here? Where did they store it? I had so many questions about the drums. Did you see people playing the drums as you were leaving the arena?
I did. I saw a lot of people with drums heading into the arena. I walked past the little DJ booth in the parking lot, which became an Algerian party, and people were playing the drums in tandem with the DJ party. So there, I saw a lot of people with drums, and I had a lot of questions. It looked like drum line out there. There was that type of drum. It was very interesting, but there were a lot of drums.
All right, so there is one story that I would like to play for you guys before we get Rob's story about his experience going out there. Now, I did not know anything about this until a couple of days ago. So at every World Cup arena, they have little activation zones by the big-time sponsors. So Coca-Cola is a big-time sponsor. They got a little tent over there. Michelob Ultra is a big sponsor for the World Cup. They've got their own thing over there. You know, there's all the Dove body wash. There's all these different ones. Well, Bank of America is a major sponsor of the World Cup. And over there, they are giving away a bracelet, and or you can make your own bracelet that is unique to the city that is hosting the World Cup game. This has turned into one of the gotta-have-it pieces of memorabilia from the game. Here's the news story.
Fans have waited in line for over 3 hours to get this free bracelet from FIFA Fan Festival in Fair Park. Bank of America sponsored the bracelets, sending over 2 million of them to World Cup host cities. How long have you been waiting in line today?
The lines have been pretty intense. We waited for the first line about maybe like an hour, and then we walked around, and then the second line probably like another hour.
Fans can customize their charm bracelet with red, black, or blue bands and over 140 custom beads. The charms range from country flags and soccer emblems to numbers and custom beads from the host city. Because of the high demand, Bank of America created a new wristband system where fans reserve a time to create their bracelet.
I was brought in to help in our Bank of America Dadless FIFA Fan Fest activation, which has been a crazy success, and we're very happy with all the numbers that we've been receiving and seeing all the fans, how excited they are to get our bracelets.
Did you guys hear how long some people are waiting for these bracelets? Now, I don't got to tell you guys, it's hot outside. We are under an extreme heat warning right now, how hot it is in the Kansas City metro area. Can you imagine standing outside on the Arrowhead parking lot pavement for 3 hours, waiting in line for a free Bank of America bracelet? People are doing this. Rob waited 90 minutes in line to get one of these bracelets for his lady.
Hold on. Just a correction here. I heard the 90 minutes and ejected.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I thought you got one.
I had people I was with.
I misunderstood.
That said, I'll stick it out for the 90. I text my wife, you ain't getting a bracelet. Line's too long.
What if she wanted to stay for the 90? What if she was committed for the 90?
Good for her. She can stay in line. I was not waiting 90 minutes for a bracelet. I didn't know these bracelets were a thing until Saturday morning when I started hearing from people about them, and I was curious what the line was. I thought it can't be that bad. Arrowhead can only hold so many people. There is a big person holding a giant sign that says Bank of America line starts here, and that guy told us it's 90 minutes. Actually, to quote him exactly, he said the line's moving pretty good today. 90 minutes. He then told me people during the Argentina match waited up to 3 hours for these bracelets. I don't understand it. It confuses me. It puzzles me. I did not wait in line for a bracelet. I do know people that did. I don't understand the allure, but here I sit knowing that people waited 90 minutes for a charm bracelet in the Arrowhead parking lot.
That is not an activity that I participated in. That is not an activity that I would have participated in. For the friend that I went with, I would have rescinded her ticket if she had decided to wait in that line. You're not coming in with me. I can't. You got to go on eBay. And that's the thing about this. That's the second part of this story is people are on eBay buying these bracelets. So you can wait in line if you want and get one of these bracelets, or you can just hop right now on eBay and buy one of these bracelets. Like, Rob, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it right now. If you want one of these bracelets, they're somewhere between $40 to $80 I'm looking at. Now, I'm sure there's been a couple that have maybe sold for a little bit more than that, but I'm sitting on here right now, I'm looking at it. If you want to buy one of these bracelets, you can just get one for $40. I'd rather just pay the $40, honestly. If those are my two options, now I understand you're making a little bit of money, like you got this bracelet for free, but now you're charging me. But if you really want one of these bracelets bad enough, and I actually don't think they're that bad, they're actually kind of cool, low-key. Like, I could see how in a couple of years you're happy that you have this bracelet. Yeah, I'm just going to pay the $40. I'm not waiting in line for this.
I don't understand the people who did wait in line. Like, I'm not a big bracelet person in general. Like, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, so that's just not for me. But then when you combine that with the fact that it's this long line, it's hot, and at the end of the day, you get a bracelet. I just didn't understand it. Now, I understand each one is unique. Like, if me and you were both waiting in the line, your Kansas City Bank of America charm bracelet and my Bank of America bracelet could be very different. And I could see how someone who may went to multiple cities and multiple matches would want to collect these charm bracelets. I can see the allure there. But the idea of waiting 2 hours just is crazy to me. And also, I know they're free, but are they? Because getting into the stadium is 100% not free. So you're really, it's built into your
price. You pay for it. You absolutely pay for it in some capacity. That is sure. I was happy with the little lanyard they gave us. They gave everybody a little lanyard to commemorate that you were at the game. There were some other things that came with it. It's like some kind of World Cup ID. I mean, I didn't fill it out. I was just happy to have the lanyard. I was just happy to be there. At the gift store, I started looking at some of the prices of these things, and I was like, you know what? I'll wait for the Fanatics sale. That's what I'm going to wait for. I'm going to wait till Fanatics has some of this stuff discounted here in a couple of weeks whenever the World Cup is over. And that's when I'm going to load up and get my hoodie. That's when I'm going to load up. Whenever Dick's Sporting Goods is trying to move all this inventory for the football, that's when I'll load up on my World Cup gear. But I'm not getting any World Cup apparel right now. Rob, I want to give you the opportunity, and then we'll move on. Tell people about your experience of going to the game on Saturday.
So my experience was similar to yours. The one difference that stands out between me and you is I took public transit. I thought to myself, I'm going to one match. I'm not going to finesse. I'm not going to be like Alex Gold and drop the money for a true parking pass. I'm going to ride the bus. I had heard horror stories about the bus from the Argentina match. I had heard nothing but improvements from there. I wanted to see how the bus system worked for the World Cup. And let me tell you, I was really impressed. I went to the plaza. My brother lives in the plaza, so I met up with him. He came to the match with me. And the pickup is near where Grand Street Cafe in Winstead's is, where you can picture that on the streetcar line, basically. And it is just a very efficient process. Don't get me wrong. There's some wait time. They are loading thousands and thousands of people onto buses. It's not, blink of an eye. But for a system that I had big worry about, and for a system that I had fears would just fail, you basically get in line. It's like a ride at Disney World. You go snake back and forth, get to the front, boom, on a bus is full, boom, we're headed to the stadium. They unload, you run through this wave of, rail car type energy. It's like, hey, here's the Plaza line, the Oak Park line, the Independence line, the, Fan Fest line, and they run you into basically to this little fan area, and it is a very smooth process. And even leaving, I thought, I'm going to be at Arrowhead deep into the night. No, I got to my bus. It was quick. It was efficient. I highly recommend the bus system for people who don't want to spend the inordinate parking pass prices or don't have, the wherewithal to get the Denny's parking lot or the park at someone's house and walk over or the church or whatever have you. I was very impressed with the bus system. I also noticed this, and now I can't speak for your section. I came to the conclusion, something I already knew, but it was staggering to see. The World Cup means a lot more for other countries than it does the United States. When Algeria took the 3-2 lead in the 90th minute, it was late and it was clear Algeria is now winning. They are going through no matter what. Even if they play to a draw, they are through. There was a man in our section, Algerian fan. He had a flag. He kept standing up when they would score. He was trembling with happiness when they took the 3-2 lead. I don't know that any American sport, with the American team playing, has made a fan base tremble with excitement. So it was a very cool moment. My experience was similar to yours, but I do say the bus system, after concerns about a week ago, hit perfect for my time on Saturday.
Yeah, it was just a really, really good experience. If you get a chance to go to one of these two games, I know that we're kind of winding down, and now the price of going to one of these games is about to jump up astronomically. I mean, it's pretty expensive, I think, to go to the game on Friday. It's going to be even more expensive, especially if Lionel Messi is playing in the game that's coming up on the 11th. I mean, it could possibly be Lionel Messi's last World Cup game if they lose. But if you got a chance to go out there for any one of the first four games, it has really, really been a great time. One of my favorite memories from going to the game was they've added these hydration breaks. Now, I don't really know why people are anti-water. We know the incredible health risk, mental health of just not having enough water in your system. You're working out, you're running, you're sweating, you're doing all of these things. I don't have a problem with now FIFA implementing a mandatory time for you to go over there and make sure that you hydrate. You're in the hot Kansas City sun all day. You're sweating. You're losing electrolytes. Let's put some of those electrolytes back in your body for optimum athletic capabilities. I was at the game, and everybody around me seems to hate water, seems to hate hydration. That was the only boos I heard the entire time. There were no other boos. Nobody booed a referee's call. Nobody booed at the end of the game. There was not a single thing that got booed in that stadium while I was there. The only thing that got booed was a hydration break. Rob, you got to explain to me why people in soccer hate water. You got to explain to me why people in soccer hate to see their athletes replenish important electrolytes that they have lost competing in this soccer exhibition. I don't understand.
Okay, so we don't hate water as soccer fans.
That's what it seemed like to me.
We 100% have no problem with water. We hate the hydration break. You want to know why we hate the hydration break? A, it has never happened at any level of soccer ever across the globe. They play soccer in every corner of the globe in major leagues. And you know what we never have? Hydration breaks. We don't just stop and just drink water for the vibes. It is unique to this World Cup. So that's first and foremost why we hate it. Secondarily, I'm going to tell you the other reason we hate it. Because they're selling it to us like it's about hydration. But you know what they're actually doing? It's a commercial break. They have found a way to plug commercials into the middle of the match. It is just another way for FIFA's greed, which is boundless, it seems like, to find a way to line their pockets. And we, as the sports watching and soccer community, do not like it. So boo the water break. I booed the hydration break. I was proud my section booed the hydration break. And as someone who hates them on television, I will tell you, watching it live, way worse than watching it on television. It's an awful experience.
This is, again, I'm a soccer casual. I don't know anything about it. Once we get past the 19th, you guys can do whatever rules you got, and I'll come back in 4 years. I guess just as an American sports fan, commercials are just such a part of the experience of it that 2 commercial breaks, they don't really bother me that much. They really don't. Now, I understand. I am not a soccer purist. I completely understand. I was having a little bit of fun with the hydration break. I understand why, if something has always been one way, and now they have decided to change that one way solely for the purposes of trying to make more money, I get it. I guess I would just say, as an American, if there's one thing our sports love, it's commercial breaks. Everybody loves football here, right? How many times have you watched a football game where team scores a touchdown, team kicks an extra point, they go to commercial, we come back from commercial, team kicks off the ball, it is a touchback. What do they do right after that? They go to another commercial. We watch baseball, right? They have a hydration break. Every 5 minutes they take a hydration break. I guess unless the Royals are playing, then that break might be 15 minutes later because the White Sox scored 10 runs in the inning. If there's one thing we get in our American sports, it's them always stopping action. You'll watch a basketball game. It'll be getting good. Oh, no, we got to go to the monitor again. So the fact that I'm watching something and there's only 2 commercial breaks when all of the other sports that I watch have endless amounts of commercial breaks, I would love to see. The next time, Rob, we should count how many commercial breaks they take in football games. We all sit through them and watch them. So I honestly, I don't really mind the hydration breaks because it's not really that bad. They take 2 90-second breaks. Okay, all right, it's not that bad. All right, I'm just sitting here, I'm on my phone, I'm kind of looking. But the people there, I mean, it was boo. I mean, they were booing from the heavens. They were booing. You would have thought the FIFA president came out there and started speaking during these hydration breaks. The people, not a fan.
I'm happy that people aren't a fan. Here's where it's different to me. You're right. Football is just, anyone that says football is just always moving and always action.
Oh, they stop all the time.
It's constant stoppage.
Stop all the time.
Football's in stop. But this is the difference. We've grown accustomed to football. We know the stoppages. Can you imagine if for the Super Bowl, they're like, hey, by the way, for this game only, because it's such a big deal, now every time there's a first down, we're getting a commercial break in. You'd be like, wait, what? Why? We've never, ever done that before. Why are you doing it now? And they said, well, the health of the players. You got to keep the health fine. You would be upset. You've totally changed the sport. You've upset the flow of the game. You've done something very different, all in the, intention of let's make a few more dollars for our sponsors. So I am someone that's happy they are booing it. You're right. Football, baseball, they all stop. But
you guys love college basketball. College basketball has 4 built-in commercial breaks every half in addition to halftime, right? 16, 12, 8, and 4. They have 8 breaks. They have 8 hydration breaks throughout of it. And we all seem to love the NCAA tournament just where the hydration breaks are even longer in the NCAA tournament than they are for the regular game. So I guess we just get so many of these. Being upset about 2 commercial breaks, it doesn't bother me. But again, I'm not a soccer fan. I don't watch it. It's not my thing. But Fox, I mean, if there's one thing I have learned about FIFA is they are not missing any money. They're going to get every dollar that they potentially have out there. Like, if you got $1 in your pocket, FIFA wants it at every single turn. Rob, they were charging, you guys know the little 20-ounce that you would get if you went to the gas station, right? Like, let's say you're on a road trip, your kid says, hey, can I have a Sprite? You're like, sure, right? And you get them a 20-ounce. They were charging $11 for a 20-ounce Sprite or Coca-Cola. $11 out there. So I am not surprised that FIFA is trying to squeeze as much money out of this soccer tournament as they can. They added teams, they added commercial breaks, they're hitting you over the head at every single turn. This just, to me, seems to be in line with how I'd known FIFA to get down in the very, very small time that FIFA has been in my life. Coming up on the other side, today was actually a very sad day, and I want to explain why. I'll tell you next. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 93.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Coming up at the top of the hour, I mean, this conversation will probably go off the rails because every conversation about Caitlin Clark usually goes off the rails. I just want to understand, what is it about Caitlin Clark specifically that just causes everybody to lose their minds? There is not another American athlete that causes people to act this way, to discuss sports in this way. Not Mahomes, not LeBron, not Steph, not Serena. There is not a single other athlete in American sports that we talk about in this way or treat the way that we treat Caitlin Clark. I just want to try to get to the bottom of it. Nothing will probably be accomplished, but it's a worthwhile conversation to have. We'll do that coming up at the top of the hour. Before we get there, I want to play a piece of audio for you guys. Now, I know that all of you don't play video games, or maybe you used to play video games back in the day, but you don't anymore. But I think you will at least understand this point. Everybody that has played sports video games has a player that you largely love solely because of playing with them on the video game. Like, maybe you were not a Mike Vick fan back in the day, but if you played Madden 2004, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Rob, you and I used to play NFL Street all the time, and there were certain guys that it was fun to have that guy on your team. One of those players for me was Chris Johnson. If you were playing Madden during those PS2 days, and you remember when CJ2K was maybe the best running back on the game, speed was there, the hands were there, he was playing with Vince Young, so it was just a lot of fun to play with those Titans teams. Never been a Titans fan, but I just always loved watching Chris Johnson play. He was a fun player to play with on Madden. I just always have been a Chris Johnson fan. I did not know this until earlier today. Maybe it was well known, but for the first time, Chris Johnson decided to speak out about it. Chris Johnson has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. He and his wife, I believe, went on Good Morning America to talk about it. Here's the audio.
Johnson says he was in the prime of his life, working out daily and running errands with his 4 children until ALS changed everything.
Let's go back to last year. When did you notice that something was off?
I first noticed weakness in my right hand. At first, it was little things like my grip didn't feel right, and I wasn't as strong as I've always been.
His wife, Brittany, thought it was something much simpler.
Brittany, what did you think it was at the time?
I thought because of football and, his career that it had to be something with that, maybe a pinched nerve or something along those lines, but never ALS.
And what did doctors tell you initially about your condition?
We hoped it was something else, but after thorough testing, they finally came down with a diagnosis of ALS. They told us about a medication that might extend life by a few months. Then they told us to get our affairs in order. It was hard hearing that, but after watching Good Morning America and seeing Dr. Merritt with Eric Dane, we reached out to her. She was willing to think more creatively, offering experimental treatments that might help and advance research.
So that was the audio. I would highly encourage you to watch it. It's not very long. It's a 7-minute interview. We just kind of chopped the best of it to play for you guys. I mean, Chris Johnson cannot speak. It was kind of similar to, and I'm not sure if this is what Val Kilmer had. I certainly don't mean any disrespect. But if you have seen Top Gun Maverick, if you remember, Val Kilmer is in it, but he doesn't speak, and he has something else that does the communication for him. That's kind of how this interview was conducted. I always love watching Chris Johnson play. He was just so much fun. In 2009, I mean, Chris Johnson had one of the better running back seasons over the last 25 years. He ran for 2,000 yards. He had 14 touchdowns. We're not even counting the receiving yards that year. Rob, that season, Chris Johnson ran for 2,000 yards, had 14 rushing touchdowns. He also had 500 receiving yards that year and scored 2 touchdowns through the air. He was incredible back in 2009. He had a stretch there with Tennessee. His first 6 years in the league, he ran for over 1,000 yards. Now, I will say this. It kind of goes to your theory, Rob, about running backs. I mean, when it was over very, very quickly. It was over at age 28 for Chris Johnson. He ran for 1,000 yards. After that, 600 yards, 800 yards, and he's basically out of the league. But when Chris Johnson was at his absolute power, when he was at his absolute peak, he was one of the better running backs of the 2000s. And his best season, you put up against a lot of other running backs over the last 25 years, and they would stack up very well. So I was very sad to see that earlier today about Chris Johnson, that he has ALS, and to watch the interview. And I just wanted to tell you guys that because I just think that all of us, if you grew up, maybe you grew up and you played Tecmo Super Bowl back in the day, there is an athlete that you loved because of playing with them on the video game, whether it was a basketball game, a football game, whatever it is. You just love them because you played so many hours of it. And Chris Johnson was one of those guys for me. So certainly thoughts and prayers to Chris Johnson as he tries to get through it.
It's a very sad interview because you're right. I don't know if it's the same thing as Val Kilmer, but he is, you can't tell from the audio. He is speaking via a computer. He's moving his eyes. That's the voice you heard when he was speaking. Is Chris Johnson a you had to be there moment? Because when he was CJ2K, it was like 4 years of, whoa, this guy's a star. But then a lot like those have to be their moments, it disappeared quickly.
Yeah, that's when I'm with you. I just think there's a lot of those 2000s running backs. Like, I think Chris Johnson kind of really goes to show you how the league started to shift. I mean, that season, Chris Johnson won Offensive Player of the Year that year. Like, Chris Johnson had a legitimate chance to win MVP back during this time. Like, it was when we just valued the position very differently. So you mentioned you had to be there. I feel like we could throw out 15 of those names, and they were just 2000s running backs because we accepted running backs very differently, and the game was different. You could get 300 carries. I mean, Chris Johnson that year got 358 carries. So, you know, as you've seen football shift and you've seen fantasy football start to shift as well, that's when it was a no-brainer. Your first round was all running backs. So it's changed a little bit now. Obviously, there's still some very good running backs, but I think that more than anything. So, yeah, you could have that same conversation about Arian Foster. You just kind of had to be there when Arian Foster was good. Sean Alexander is another guy that if you're 12 years old today, you have no understanding of how good Sean Alexander was. That's how people are going to talk about Priest Holmes. Obviously, it's different in Kansas City because you were watching him and you were a fan. But if you're a 13-year-old in Baltimore, maybe that's a bad place because he played there. If you're a 13-year-old in Seattle, that's a better place. If you're a 13-year-old in Seattle, I do not think you have any understanding of how good Priest Holmes was. And he was the best running back in football over a 3-year stretch.
Does Larry Johnson count in this category? I know that he had.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he led the NFL in attempts one year. It just explains why his body broke down so quickly what I did. But Chris Johnson just felt like I had to be their moment. I also think there was a time in the NFL where the Titans had Vince Young and Chris Johnson.
Dogs.
And I remember at the time the conversation was, will this work? Because it's just not how the NFL operated in 2006. Can you imagine if in 2026, with the way we handle NFL football with more spread concepts than that, we had Vince Young and Chris Johnson in the backfield? Oh, it would be so much fun. I feel like they were before their time in a way because they didn't get truly utilized in Jeff Fisher's boring offense.
Yeah, we might be getting back to it just a little bit. So I just looked this up really quickly. So back in 2009, when Chris Johnson was the best running back in the league, there were 6 guys that got 300 carries. Take a real blast from the past here. Chris Johnson, Thomas Jones, Steven Jackson, Adrian Peterson, Maurice Jones-Drew, and Cedric Benson. Cedric Benson that year definitely won somebody a fantasy league. He had 300 carries for 1,251 yards and 6 touchdowns that season. This year, there were 4 running backs that had over 300 carries. Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, and Bijan Robinson were. And then I think once we start to see just the gap is going to kind of show out. But yeah, I mean, I actually think that we are starting to see a little bit of a shift back to the running back mattering a little bit. Like, I know we give you a hard time. I think the way that you view running back was certainly the way that people viewed running back in 2018 and 2019. I think we're starting to see a shift back in the other direction for a bunch of different reasons. Wide receiver contracts are getting so big that you can now sign a very good running back for less than you can sign a number 3 wide receiver. I think in some ways defenses are getting smaller. Like, you don't have the big middle linebackers or the big nose tackles. So now teams are starting to take advantage of that. There's reasons why I think it's happening. But yeah, the game is starting to get back to running the football, being a little bit more balanced and being able to establish the line of scrimmage than maybe it was 7-8 years ago.
Which means that as these things ever evolve, it could be flipping back soon too, because let one of those 300 rushing attempt a year backs start to wear out, and people will flip back toward my understanding, because these things ebb and flow with running back.
But you got to admit, it was in an ebb for a very long time with running backs. It didn't start flowing again, really, honestly, until Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey a couple years ago. That's when I feel like it started to shift. Remember, they had that big Zoom meeting about how they weren't getting paid. And since then, you've seen teams really start to treat the running back position a little bit differently and start to embrace it a little bit more. I'm sure this will be a disaster, but let's talk about Caitlin Clark. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. So Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5. The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit FreedomFamilyFireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at TellyTire.com. If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at TellyTire.com.
When you're ready to paint your home, you want it done right the first time. That's why I trust CertaPro Painters. They aren't just a service, they're local professionals with over 70,000 five-star reviews. From the detailed proposal to the final brush stroke, the entire process was completely worry-free. Get professional painting at the right price. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City, so you're dealing with local. It's CertaPro.
Fanatic Sportsbook makes every baseball game day this season hit harder.
Swing for the fences with long ball jackpots. Just pick the player who hits the longest homer of the day to win a share of $50K in fan cash. Every day brings a new shot to win. Customers also get baseball profit boosts every game day. And your bets earn you fan cash, win or lose. To spend on merch, tickets, exclusive experiences, and more. Go deep this baseball season and download Fanatic Sportsbook today for the best baseball betting experience each and every game day. Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MyReset. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatic Sportsbook app.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
All right. This is a segment that needs a disclaimer. I know how you guys are going to get, so I'd rather just go ahead and say it from the very, very beginning because it seems very obvious and part of the conversation. If you want to talk about Caitlin Clark accurately, race is going to come up in this conversation. Now, I know that discussing race in any capacity is triggering for some of you, and it upsets you that we would even discuss how the races of these individuals plays a part in how this is being discussed and how it is being covered. If you're one of those people, I would just encourage you to come back in 10 minutes. And then we will move on and talk about something else that has nothing to do with race. But it is impossible to ignore the role that race plays in the Caitlin Clark conversation. So I just want to give you that. So in 7 minutes in the text line, when I see someone mad, oh, you pulled the race card. No, I told you off the very, very beginning that we are going to discuss this. So you can't be mad at me. You can only be mad at yourself. Now, I want to get a second thing out of the way from the very, very beginning. The foul that happened on Caitlin Clark a couple of days ago is very unnecessary and not a basketball play, in my opinion. It is a play that should have been addressed in real time. A flagrant should have been assessed. That player should have been ejected from the game and suspended. I don't have any problem with that. If in that moment you see this happening, you then tear up, you're ejected from the game, that player is then subsequently fined for the action, I got no problem. We see that happen in basketball all the time. It's a regular season game. You live and you move on. So a lot of this, in my opinion, started with very, very poor officiating and not calling it proper on the court, which then led to a bunch of different conversations. One of the things that trips me out about the WNBA and this is from outsiders, this is from people that follow the sport. We were not talking about the WNBA 3 years ago. And then it was obvious that we were going to start talking about it in some capacity. At that moment, it was an opportunity for the people that really care about the basketball part of the WNBA to talk about it from that perspective. Instead, they have just let it become the NBA where the same soap opera storylines dominate the coverage, dominate the conversation, and the Caitlin Clark has just taken on a life of its own in a way that I just don't know if it had to play this way. The Caitlin Clark thing started off as really, really cool. Hey, she's playing a game in a way I've never seen a female play basketball before. She's pulling up from half court and taking these crazy shots, and it was like a fun, exciting game. How did we let it get this bad? I think you could argue that under the age of 30 years old, Caitlin Clark is the most popular American basketball player. That she is the face of American basketball under 30 years old. How have we let this happen? All of us have contributed to this in a nonsense kind of way, in my opinion. So let's start with Sophie Cunningham. Shout out to her, MIZ. She was on her podcast. She's very mad at the WNBA officials for what they've let go on with Caitlin Clark.
During real time last night, I did not see that happen. I don't, none of our team saw it happen, because I promise you if we would have seen that happen, we would have had her back. Unfortunately, this type of shit happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs do absolutely nothing about it.
All right. Now, there's going to be some controversial takes that I have in this that maybe upset you, maybe they don't. That's not my issue to deal with. Rob, outside of officiating, what do people want the league to do? Because from the outside looking in, this is how it appears to me. The public perception is that the WNBA wasn't super popular, even though I think there are metrics you can use that the WNBA was certainly growing as America's views on women's sports are changing in real time. The WNBA was growing, and then they got a catalyst. Here's where the part where race plays in. A little white girl from Iowa started hooping, and people were drawn to that. A lot of the commentary I feel in the WNBA is the black girls need to be super thankful that Caitlin Clark, this little white girl, has them watching your league. So treat her with the proper respect that she deserves because she's the only reason why you are here. I do think there is a sense of jealousy in some ways from the other players. Hey, we've been putting on the time. We've been super popular. You came and you absorb all of the attention from it. I do think that's some of it, but I keep hearing this. We want the league to do something. I don't know if you can force the other players to like Caitlin Clark or be nice to Caitlin Clark. This is where I think the conversation is different in this than anywhere else. Since when is this how we treat athletes? Since when do we want the other athletes to give you respect and not the expectation from the player to go take the respect away from them or go earn it through just being good or playing hard or fighting back? In some of these conversations, maybe this is like a caveman way of thinking. I want to see Caitlin have a little bit of fight because the other girls in the WNBA don't really seem to have much of a problem hip checking her or fouling her, doing all these kind of things. Maybe it is a brand thing. Maybe it is a personality kind of thing. But I would love to see Caitlin stand up for herself and fight back. I just feel like everybody else is Caitlin's voice in these situations except her. Sophie Cunningham can't be that voice for you. You got to be that voice for you. Whether it's physically by you pushing them back, you throwing the ball, you getting physical with them, that has been normally what athletes do. We've seen Jordan get to these scuffles before. We've seen Kobe Bryant get into these scuffles before. Multiple times. Got into the issue with Chris Childs. Got into the issue with Matt Barnes. I don't know why one of our messages towards Caitlin Clark is fight back. Would you let your daughter be treated the way that you think they treat Caitlin Clark? Because if my daughter got treated like this, I would say, you know what I think you should do at school? I think you should hit them. That's what I would tell my daughter to do. And if you get in trouble at school, I'm happy to go up there and explain why this is the message that I told you. Hey, I tried to play it cool. I tried to play it kumbaya. I tried to turn the other cheek, But you ain't Jesus. That might have worked for him. That might not work for you. If you think you were getting bullied and you've done all these other things, maybe it's time for you to take action into your own hands. That's the message that I would give. That's the message I would give my daughter. That's the message that I would give Caitlin Clark. But for 2 years, we have been saying this same thing, and the other girls don't seem to have much problem beating her around. So that's one part of this. I want to play for you what Emmanuel Acho had to say, because this is even more ridiculous, in my opinion.
The W at this junction in time would be better without Caitlin Clark, because she is a bigger distraction than she is an additive. Caitlin Clark has gotten the WNBA over the necessary threshold they needed. Now people are watching. Now we realize, oh, there's talent in the W, talent that's actually even greater than Caitlin Clark. And I'm not just talking about bigs like Asia. I'm talking about the Olivia Miles. I'm talking about the Paige Beckers. Hell, I'm talking about the Kelsey Mitchells. Caitlin got the necessary eyes there. But now that the eyes are there, we don't necessarily need her anymore. Caitlin did what only Caitlin could do, and we don't necessarily need her to do anymore. Thank you, Caitlin. We can take it from here. Unless we can take off our gloves for Caitlin Clark and stop trying to act like she's a messiah, the WNBA could and would be better off without Caitlin Clark, at least without this version of everybody coddling and caressing and catering to Caitlin Clark.
That's a stupid opinion. It is. It's a stupid opinion. The WNBA is not better off without Caitlin Clark. Everybody knows this. It is absolutely better because of it. It is better. What are we doing here? There are some questions in this that I wish more people were asking. This question. C-Dot, she earned it as a rookie with her play. If Mahomes was taking cheap shot after cheap shot, you would be saying, oh, this is BS. The league needs to step in and yada, yada, yada. That would not be my opinion. I've never heard anybody ask this question. Why don't the other girls on Caitlin Clark's team do the fighting for her? We always talk about having an enforcer, right? Every team talks about that. If you think that a teammate, like in this Patrick Mahomes sense, if you felt like there were players intentionally going out of their way to hurt Patrick Mahomes, Patrick would not be the one doing the fighting. Creed Humphrey would be the one doing it. Trey Smith would be the ones doing it. We see this happen all the time in all of these other sports. Literally all the time in these other sports. That maybe the main person doesn't do it, but they got a couple of goons, they got a couple of enforcers, and they got the people that do the hard fouls. Sometimes you need a Charles Oakley. Sometimes you need somebody like that on your team. I've wondered this from the very, very beginning, why the Indiana Fever don't seem to have that wild card kind of individual that is not afraid to throw blows for you just for the sake of the team and for the sake of team camaraderie in all of this. Maybe I'm off in all of this. This is just my view of all of these kind of things. Someone just sent in, Caitlin Clark is not built for the physicality of the WNBA. She's got to get stronger. I don't know. We've been doing this now. This is the third season for Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, and we seem to keep having the exact same conversations about her and the treatment from the other players. Do I think some of it is jealousy? Yes, I absolutely think that some of it is jealousy. But there is a line from Jay-Z. Once you get tagged lame, the game is follow the leader. The other girls treat Caitlin Clark this way because they know they can treat Caitlin Clark this way because Caitlin doesn't really do anything about it. She will complain to the officials, and she will largely count on you guys to stand up for and say, all the black girls need to be nice to her. And I think that's part of why they push her around. That's just my observation. I said this, Rob, you were here. I said this 2 years ago. The best thing for Caitlin Clark would be to do a press conference to talk about how frustrated she is. And the next time when something like this happens, the best thing for Caitlin Clark to do would be to fight back. And for there to be a viral video of Caitlin being so frustrated and so mad that she gets into a scuffle with one of these other WNBA players. She is not losing Nike because of that. She is not losing State Farm because of that. But I really think that on the court with the other basketball players, I think it would go a long way if that's what she did. I think it would go a very, very long way. Because sometimes people don't learn a lesson until there is a physical consequence. And right now, there does not seem to be a physical consequence to literally whatever you do to Caitlin Clark. Hip checker, pusher, choker. It does not seem to be a physical penalty to me for the things that you do to Caitlin Clark.
It is very wild to me that this has been allowed to happen. What's different to me about the WNBA versus like the NBA is we've seen people foul hard. Like we had the Jordan rules with the Pistons. Like Bill Laimbeer made a career out of hard fouls. Like that is a thing. But the I don't know the name. It's the Phoenix team in the WNBA posted a video or a meme making fun of Caitlin Clark for complaining to the refs. Like this is an epidemic in the league, and it feels like the refs are powerless to stop it. It feels like the Indiana Fever are powerless to stop it. Something has to stop, because I would tell you this, it's not even a Caitlin Clark point. When she is on the floor, it stops being basketball for a while, and that makes it a far less enjoyable product. Like, I watched WNBA. Olivia Miles is a great player. She does not have the same problems that Caitlin Clark does, and she's hooping. Caitlin Clark plays, it becomes a fight in this, like, on the court.
Yeah, and a lot of people are making the point about that's what Sophie Cunningham is, and you're 100% right. Sophie Cunningham is 150 pounds. For example, Asia Wilson is 195. You don't need another guard to be your enforcer. You need another big to be your enforcer. They need a Brittany Griner kind of person. They need that person to be your enforcer. The physical guy on your football team usually isn't a wide receiver. It's normally an offensive or a defensive lineman. So yes, Sophie is that person. Sophie is the, hey, I'll get my head into it. I'll muck it up a little bit. I'm not afraid of anybody individual. They need that to be a bigger person. They need that to be a forward or a center, not another guard. That's what they really, really need. And yes, I understand on the text line, oh, this is archaic. Sports are always going to be sports. They are. And a huge part about sports is not only the mental edge that you have over individuals, it is the physical edge that you have over individuals. It is a reason why sometimes you don't see teams go down the middle of the lane, because they have that guy that will be the enforcer in the middle. You remember back in the day when they used to let this kind of be the case, there was a reason why certain guys didn't go over the middle of the field. Hey, that guy's over there. I'm not going over there. He might hurt me. I know it sounds old, but we all know that it's effective. And maybe it's not the PC way of describing it. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for years. The best thing for Caitlin Clark would be to hit one of these girls back and let them know I'm done with letting you pick on me, because that's what it looks like to everybody else. That's what it looks like to me. These other girls have been picking on this woman now for 3 years, and what makes you think it's going to stop? What makes you think it's going to stop? They've been doing it. I'm going to guess they're going to do it again. That would just be my advice. Or we will probably be here again in another 12 months, and we'll have the exact same opinions that we've been having about Caitlin Clark, because that's just the way that things go in that sport. All right, we will reset things coming up on the other side. Let's talk about the World Cup. Kansas City is watching it in big numbers. We'll talk about it. Keep right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game, because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
They 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's, all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Today's match day preview is presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. Download the Fanatic Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. We've reached the knockout round stage of the World Soccer Championship, and a lot of the pre-tournament favorites are still at the top of the futures market. France at plus 400 is the favorite, followed by defending champion Argentina and pre-tournament favorite Spain, who are both at plus 575. According to markets, all three of these teams have the best odds to reach the final, with France leading the way at 34%. After winning Group F, Netherlands' odds to win the trophy have dropped down from 20-1 to 14-1, and the USA odds are down to 28-1 to win it all after beginning the tournament at 60-1. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day preview brought to you by Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Here's Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a problem in Overland Park, 35 northbound, just past 95th. It is the right lane blocked. Down near Olathe, that's a stall. 35 southbound past Santa Fe, right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
It does always intrigue me how the text line always wants the NBA to be more like the 80s and 90s until it's actually time to be more like the 80s and the 90s. I do always find that to be an interesting dynamic of what was going on, you know? I always do find that to be very, very amusing. I know that my Caitlin Clark stance is not very popular. I guess the last thing I'll say on this is, someone was making the point, if Caitlin Clark kind of fought back, then she would get suspended and the bullies would win. My argument would be sometimes it's worth missing the day of school for the bully's respect. The bully kept taking your lunch money, and yes, your daughter or your son eventually hit them. Yes, they might get suspended from school. I'm also going to guess when you go back, to have that person stop taking your lunch money was worth missing that Tuesday class. I think that could help Caitlin Clark. I think that's incredibly valuable. Let's move on. Rob, have you seen the ratings for the World Cup? Because the ratings for the World Cup are through the roof. Now, I expected Kansas City to be very, very high on this, but I mean, this is remarkable what the ratings are right now. Just to give you an idea, there is a bigger gap between Kansas City and the city that is in second place. So Kansas City is in first place with a 3.8. Boston is in second place with a 3.05. There is a bigger gap between Kansas City and Boston than Boston and 10th place, which is St. Louis. So Kansas City is watching the World Cup at a tremendous number compared to everybody else. Now, this is important to note. This is just the Fox viewership. This doesn't count Telemundo, where Kansas City would still be very high, but LA would factor in, others, Miami would factor in, other cities will factor in. We're just talking about the over-the-air on Fox, the English-speaking broadcast for the World Cup. It is not close between Kansas City and everybody else. Rob, I'll pass to you here because you would have a much better answer than I would. When did this start with Kansas City and specifically this event and soccer? Because I don't really remember, and maybe I just was oblivious to it, I don't remember Kansas City's relationship with soccer being like that when you and I were kids. Back when the Wizards were playing and they were playing games at Arrowhead, I don't remember there being this fever for soccer in this way. Something has changed over the last 20 years where you and I both know it's even at the point where it's not even just going to be for the U.S. games. Like, I feel like that's kind of what started, the big U.S. watch parties. When Mexico plays, it will be just as packed down at Power and Light. It will be just as packed at Fan Fest as if the United States were playing for the games that will be in Kansas City. So on Friday, when Colombia goes up against, I believe it's Ghana, right? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah.
Friday's game?
Yes, it's Ghana. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be just as packed down at Power and Light and just as packed for Fan Fest as if the United States is playing in this. When did it get like this for soccer?
I can't identify an exact moment. I wish I could. I wish I could say it was this date and time. But I think you have to credit the success of sport in Kansas City. Because you mentioned, like, when we were kids, it was games at Arrowhead for the Wizards where there were more people in this building right now than there would go to those games. It was empty. It was friends and family. Tony Meola's wife, where you could hear her applaud after every save because it was empty at Arrowhead. Now, there was a time where Sporting KC was one of the hot tickets. Sporting KC was winning, cups. Sporting KC was winning the U.S. Open Cup. They were in the MLS Cup. They were sold out most every night. They were a hot commodity. And I remember I would go to sporting matches, and they had the big banner on the side of the stadium, the soccer capital of the United States. And I thought, that's cute branding. Like, I get what they're doing. They're in the center of the United States, the whole thing. I get it. I don't think it's like just a marketing thing anymore. I think Kansas City is the soccer capital of the United States because it's not just this World Cup. I remember the World Cup in Qatar. The watch parties end up Power Light in the winter when it's like 37 degrees out. Full. People going nuts. The Women's World Cup had watch parties down at Power and Light. Full. People going nuts. The Current, they had great success in year one. They opened the first female soccer stadium in the world. Like, I can't identify the moment, but I think there are a lot of people along the way deserve credit at both Sporting and the Current, because soccer is at a frenzy and a fever pitch in Kansas City. And that doesn't mean it's like it's bigger than the Chiefs or whatever. It's not a threat to the NFL or anyway, but it is bigger in this town than at any point I can ever remember. And it just seems to have happened basically overnight.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Eric Graves when he was on the show a couple of days ago. He made this point. I think it was a very, very good point. I think Kansas City is really, really good at making these events ours. Like taking the challenge of, you have given us this opportunity for Kansas City to be showcased on a national stage. We are going to show you why Kansas City is incredible. From everything that has really happened around the World Cup, the Orange March a couple of days ago, how the first 4 games have played themselves out, from the television ratings. It has now become a thing that I think people know, hey, they're going to do a live look-in. They're going to go around the country and they're going to show. And we want to make sure that when they do the live cut to Kansas City, we want it to look like a place that you feel like, man, we should have been there. Like, that is just... Nobody really just set that up. Like, that wasn't a corporation. That wasn't Cordish. That wasn't Power and Light. Like, that was you. That were the people that one day just decided we want this to be a thing. So this is absolutely, to me, as we got a little bit of a break. I know there's a game coming up on Friday, but, I mean, this should be a victory lap for Kansas City. There was a lot of questions coming into this thing about Kansas City's ability to pull this off. You were wrong. If you didn't think that Kansas City had the ability to pull off this event on this big of a world stage, we can now say unequivocally, you were wrong in that. You have not heard a single negative thing about FanFest. All of the issues, it seems to me, for the most part, that came with the shuttle after the first game, they have started to fix those problems as it has gone on. All 4 of the games have been great. You haven't really heard some major thing around the games being here. If you had any hesitation or any reservation about, A, Kansas City's buy-in to this event or ability to pull this off, you were wrong. And this is the biggest sporting event. So now I think you can take this information. I know we're potentially trying to get the Women's World Cup in a couple of years. You absolutely should take this information and take this data and try to get the Women's World Cup in a couple of years. You can absolutely take this information and use this for the Super Bowl coming up in less than a decade when the new stadium, for trying to get WrestleMania, for trying to get these things. Hey, look, we pulled off the World Cup on the absolute biggest stage. Look at how many people were here. Look at what we were able to do. We can also make your event work in Kansas City as well, where, yes, LA is always going to get big events. New York is always going to get big events. Los Angeles, Vegas, all of those. But if you can just take 1 or potentially 2 out of every 10 of those big events and bring them to Kansas City, that'd be a tremendous win off the back of this.
I agree with you and Eric Graves' point that Kansas City makes these things their own. But even with that knowledge, I think they've made soccer even bigger than that. And is it possible that it's the youth sports investment locally in soccer? Because, now this is my suburb brain maybe showing, and that's fine. But when I was a kid and you played soccer, you were like 9 years old and you played on a dirt patch out at Heritage Park in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't good. Now they got turf fields. They got Shields sponsoring. It's all over the place. There are, pop-up little really nice facilities all over the city. Is it like maybe that youth investment when we were probably in our teens that has hit with the younger kids is starting to come to fruition? But it's not just Kansas City loves sports, Kansas City makes their events their own, which definitely is at play. It feels like they've made this sport their own for the last 8 years. You're at the Power and Light for the World Cup watch parties in 2014. They were popping. This is it seems like it's unique to this sport and how Kansas City has embraced soccer more so than a lot of places in this country.
Text line 913-586. You have some music pulled up here. We're going to do a bit here in a little bit. Someone asked, Kansas City is showing that we are a great all-around sports city for the World Cup. Do you think the NHL or NBA are seeing this and thinking that Kansas City would be a great city for an expansion team? The NBA is not even kind of considering Kansas City. The NBA has already chosen where their 2 expansion cities are going to be. They've already selected Seattle and Las Vegas as the 2. So I just don't think the NBA is in Kansas City's future. I don't know enough about the NHL to be able to answer that question one way or the other. I guess I would have this question about the NHL, and I guess I would also have it about the NBA as well. Do we think that Kansas City is in a position to fund another winter sport? So another sport that is directly happening while Chiefs football is happening and also happening while college basketball is happening as well? That would be a major question that I would have.
I would also ask the question, I always ask the question when these things come up, does the Sprint Center want to have either? Because I would tell you no. I don't think the Sprint Center wants an NHL team or an NBA team. I think the Sprint Center likes being available. That's what I think the Sprint Center likes the most. So I understand the question from the text line. It's a fair question. I just don't think there's ownership or interest from the arena to have an NBA or NHL team. I don't think it has. We can talk about the sports element of it. I don't think there's any interest from the actual people that run those entities for this to happen locally.
All right, Rob, can you hit a little bit of music here? I want to test your how much do you want to go to the game meter. Hit the music. All right, Rob. I'm going to give you 2 tickets for the game on Friday. Who's going to give them to you? Kansas wins 5 football games this year.
Oh, they're doing that regular. I'm in.
You taking them?
They're going 5-7 with or without those tickets.
Oh, you think they're missing a bowl game?
I think they're going 5-7. Lance getting fired. You telling me that
you've never told me this before.
The whole season,
I had no clue that you felt this way.
The whole season,
I would have thought a little bit more. I had no clue that you thought that Lance Leipold was getting fired at the end of the season until right this moment.
I think they're going to go 5-7. He's going to get fired. I think the whole season hinges on 2 games. The game in London, which historically no team does well in London in college football, and the Missouri game. And they're not going 2-0 in those games. So, yeah, 5-7. So, yeah, give me those tickets. Let's go.
Okay, all right. I had no clue. I learned something. We got breaking news here coming up in a little bit as well. We'll get to that momentarily. All right, I'll ask you that same question. I offer you those same tickets. Good, premium, lower levels. Kansas finished 6th in the Big 12 in basketball this year. You taking them?
It's Ghana, Columbia, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's the round of 32.
That's still good enough to make the tournament. If you're Kansas, you're not going to be a premium seed.
You're not Kansas. No, I would not take that.
Okay.
I would take that for the messy quarterfinal.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to make it even worse then, though. Whenever we get to that game, I'm going to really make you pay for that game. But no, right now, I'll give you 2 50-yard line, 15 rows back. I mean, you got a beautiful view of the pitch. It just locks in that Kansas in basketball, they're going to finish in 6th place this year.
I would tell you that.
Which is probably a 6th seed in the tournament? Probably a 6th seed.
5 or 6, yeah, probably. No, I wouldn't take that. I'd be tempted to take it, but no.
You wouldn't take it?
If Portugal had done anything in the group stage and I was seeing Ronaldo, my energy would be different because I've never seen Ronaldo play. But I don't need to see him out there with his walker because he's a scrub.
What if I give you tickets to both of them, but K-State wins the league in football and basketball this year? For both games. I'll give you tickets for July 3rd. I'll give you tickets for July 11th. I'm not going to tell you where Kansas finishes.
No.
But it locks in that Kansas State wins the Big 12 in football. They also win it in basketball this year.
The basketball one's what sucks. The football one, that happens. K-State's won the league multiple times in my life. Yeah. Football, good for them. Congratulations.
You guys have never won the league.
Yeah. Basketball would suck. That year they won the league and Kansas lost their win streak. That one still sticks in my craw. So I hate.
Okay, I just want to know.
I'm probably.
I always like asking you these questions to find out how badly you want to go to the function.
I'm leaning yes because I get to see Messi and maybe his final World Cup match, but that one's tougher. The basketball one makes that tougher.
Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, you're going to tell everybody Terrion Arnold. Actually, I was not. That is not the breaking news that I was going to give you. Rob, hit it.
The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
Ja Morant has been traded. Ja Morant is now the newest member of the Portland Trail Blazers. He has been traded for Jeremy Grant. He has also been traded for Chris Murray. Ja Morant no longer in Memphis. He has been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. That's not a bad spot for him to go to kind of start over. I'm not mad at that trade for Portland. I'm not mad at that, especially because you got Damian Lillard there. You got Drew Holiday there. So you got 2 OG veterans to kind of mentor them, kind of keep them in line a little bit. Portland, much different city dynamic than what Memphis is. Kind of out of the way, out of the cut. I'm not mad at that trade if you're the Portland Trail Blazers. That's actually that's a good trade for him, a good place to reset and start over. I like the move for the Blazers.
I like the move for the Blazers. Let me ask you this, and maybe all his off-the-court antics have changed it. That feel like a little bit low compensation for Ja Morant? Like, is his court so bad that Jeremy
Have you been keeping up with him? I mean, I'm not even saying like to be condescending it. He ain't playing, so he hasn't been healthy, and
true.
he's an off-the-court risk. Yeah, they were trying to give Ja Morant away. Give him away. Ja Morant played in 20 games this year. And he can't shoot anymore. He shot 25% from three this year. 25. He's 6'2".
I'm just telling it's the amount of players get traded in the NBA. You're telling me no draft pick compensation traded hands? None?
No. I'm just telling you where it is.
You couldn't even throw a 2046 pick, or you know how the NBA gets nonsensical with these picks?
No, they do. They get crazy.
No pick compensation? Not even like a second round swap? It's just Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. We're good? I'm not saying you're wrong. Like the compensation wasn't never going to be like 5 firsts, but no draft pick compensation go back to Memphis. They're literally just go away. That's what this trade is.
No, Ja Morant has played in 79 games the last 3 years. 79. And also the off the field, just the nonsense that comes with Ja Morant. Yeah, you were going to have to give him away. And again, I really honestly do think that's a really good place for him. I think that's a really good place to start over. It is kind of crazy now in hindsight. You know, if I had told you like 6 years ago that you were going to Ja Morant was going to have very little trade value and Zion was never going to work. Like those are supposed to be the two young up and coming faces of American basketball. We're going to be those two individuals, and neither one of their career has worked out anywhere close to how I think that it was going to go. All right, let's talk about this on the other side because you just mentioned it. Cristiano Ronaldo, he really ruined the dream for all of us. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, Sir Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Look, let's be real for a second. When it comes to performance, good just isn't good enough, just like the teams that we cheer for. And that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Introducing Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes. So there's less waiting, more confidence, and a whole new level of readiness. And I've told you before, confidence is key. You know it the same as I do. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. It's not just about function anymore. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. They're turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport. So go for gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
Country music superstar Luke Bryan. Live. Word on the Street Tour. July 9th, Morton Amphitheater. With special guests, Shane Prophet, Ray Lynn, Lauren Watkins, and DJ Rock. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Luke Bryan in concert.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code SNAP to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code Snap for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins AeroBurst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of AeroBurst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Yo, it's Jey Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We got a crash Kansas side of things. It's K7 southbound just past Prairie Star Parkway. Right lane is blocked. Other side of things, we've got 435 southbound at 23rd. That's a stall off to the right shoulder. Some onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, welcome back into the show. Coming up at the top of the hour, Harold Kuntz is going to join us on the show. He's been going to all of these World Cup games. We'll get his thoughts on, so far, we are 4 games into the World Cup in Kansas City. There are 2 games remaining. There's a game coming up on Friday. There's also a game coming up on July 11th. At Kansas City Stadium. Rob, the stadium looked really good being there. Like, I wasn't really sure, just seeing it on television, but like seeing how how big the field is and how it was kind of decorated for the World Cup, it looks really, really good in person.
Did you have a moment where you kind of looked at the field because they have that one side set back and the tall section where you thought it doesn't look like Arrowhead for a minute when you look down there? Like, no, there's very little red anywhere. All the bannering and stuff is
I didn't
blue.
have that moment. I mean, I get why you might have had that moment. I didn't really think about it from that perspective.
I mean, it was fleeting. It wasn't like, 20, 30 minutes of that, but there was a moment where it's like, oh, this is Arrowhead. It felt a little different for a minute.
We'll get to Harold Kuntz here coming up in just a little bit. Now, Rob, I don't know much about soccer. I really don't. I have the most basic, casual of knowledge that you could potentially have about soccer. But y'all keep telling me about this Ronaldo dude, how he the truth, and he has more Instagram followers than anybody. So, I mean, I just, if that's the case, I would assume that he's the best. I've been watching this tournament. I don't think he's the best, but that's not even what I'm mad about. From the moment we found out Kansas City was getting that game on July 11th, Rob, what have we been talking about? We've been talking about the possibility of getting Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi it will be one of their final World Cup game. That's what we've been talking about. Lionel Messi did exactly what he was supposed to do. He scored, 7 goals so far in this thing? 6 goals? He's been amazing. That free kick that he had on Saturday was crazy. Lionel Messi is doing his end of the bargain, staying here in Kansas City. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. Cristiano Ronaldo had one job: to make sure your team held up their end of the deal, held up their end of the bargain. You needed to make sure that your team advanced. Rob, they couldn't even advance. Now, Colombia, I'm happy that they're here. And I'm sure if it's Colombia and Argentina, I'm sure it's going to be a great time at a Kansas City stadium. Now, the sights and sounds of being out there, you might want to go out there and just people watch. But Ronaldo had one responsibility, Rob. They couldn't win their group.
Now, I'm saying this with the knowledge that I was a Colombia group winner better. Cashed that ticket over the weekend. Thank you, Colombia. It is really disappointing that Portugal Ronaldo screwed us. Can you imagine? There might not have been a bigger stage in all of sports. Forget the NFL, forget the Super Bowl. If Ronaldo was going to face Messi and it was one of their final World Cup matches ever, it might have been one of the most viewed television events of all time. It might have been the most expensive ticket in Kansas City of all time. It would have been incredible.
It absolutely would have been the most expensive ticket of all time in Kansas City.
And instead, he had played to a draw against, who did he play? A Curacao or whoever it was. Just, ugh. And really, they got lucky to have a draw on Saturday night. I rewatched the highlights because, how'd this happen? Colombia should have beat them outright. Portugal's lucky. Just get them out of the tournament. I don't want them to go anywhere anymore. Boo Portugal.
Someone on the text line says, calm down, C-Dot. Ronaldo's 41. He was a GOAT back in his prime. LeBron is 41. He averaged 28 and 6 and shot 53% from the field.
Messi is 39. It's not like Messi's 22 out there doing this. Isn't it Mbappe? At 39, Messi's doing this.
Tom Brady at 41 was leaving his responsibility as a husband and a father and winning Super Bowls. The least Cristiano Ronaldo could do is win his group at the World Cup. We're not saying you got to win the whole thing. Never won it, by the way. We're not saying that. You couldn't even win your group. That's all we needed. So I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just going off what I've seen in this tournament. And you told me that he was the man. I thought at a minimum we could have at least got the one thing we all wanted. We could have at least circled the fact that those two guys were going to go up against each other. And no, not anymore. It's going to be Argentina and Colombia. That's who's going to play coming up in a couple of weeks.
You're right. That will be an incredible atmosphere. It's not as good as Portugal, Argentina, but that will still be an incredible atmosphere. I don't think those countries get along all that well. I mean, those are South American rivals, but it's not the two greatest to be able to play the sport playing against each other because Cristiano just muddled around in group stage.
Someone on the text line says FIFA and the NBA are not comparable, my guy. You know what? Actually, after watching a lot of soccer, I actually see a lot of comparisons between watching soccer and watching basketball. I see a lot of them. A lot of flopping going on. If you hate flopping in the NBA, I get it. I think it's super annoying. When I watch soccer, it's even worse. You get knocked down to the ground or something happens, you start rolling around, writhing in pain just to get back up and be perfectly fine. I've also noticed when watching it, kind of like in the NBA, nobody in the NBA has ever committed a foul. Never. You've never committed a foul. No one in the NBA has ever traveled. If you travel and they call it, you're so offended that they would even call it travel, you instantly start arguing. I'm watching this. I was watching the game yesterday between South Africa and Canada. The Jonathan David two-hand pushed the South African guy. Now, the South African guy, he flew out like Jazzy Jeff in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was kind of nuts. He then flew. They then called a penalty. Jonathan David, he was beside himself that they would call it. I see a lot of comparisons between watching soccer and watching basketball. A lot of comparisons. That's how at least I've tried to make it in my mind. Okay, this is something like I already watch.
Yes, because the refs in both those sports reward the flopping.
Oh, for sure. They always fall for it.
Trust me, as a soccer fan, I'm not sitting here being like, you know what, I love the flopping. It irritates me too, don't get me wrong. But the ref, it's like the one person on earth who doesn't know they're acting is the guy in the yellow jersey at midfield.
And I also have noticed in watching soccer and like watching it out with other people, just like in basketball, fans constantly want you to call foul. Like if basketball was officiated the way that fans want basketball to be officiated, basketball games would take 5 hours long and everybody would foul out. Everything would be a foul. Everything would be a foul. Everything would be a travel. Kind of like in soccer, every time one of the players goes to the ground, the fans instantly want a card. Everything's a yellow card. I'm like, I don't know. Everything either is a yellow card or a penalty kick. I'm telling you. Try to look at it through this lens the next time you're watching soccer. And when you look, you're like, you know what? There is a lot of comparisons between soccer and basketball. They're very alike. They're definitely cousins.
I will say one notable difference. Unlike every game in the history of Hilton Coliseum, less booing in soccer.
Oh no, they don't boo nearly as much. No,
it's when they don't get the call they want. It's not just a boo-a-palooza. It's just frustration. But the comparisons are definitely there.
Yeah, and another thing I've learned a lot. I've been watching a lot of soccer lately. It doesn't matter what language you speak. When something goes wrong, you just go, oh, like on Sopranos. If you just do that, everybody knows exactly why you did that. That's all you got to do. Just go, oh, and then throw your hands up like an injustice has just happened. If you do that, everybody around you exactly knows what you're doing that for. That's what I've learned. When I was watching the Croatia game at St. John's Catholic Club, when I was watching it there, I really didn't know what was going on. I just tried to copy and mimic what everybody else was doing. So when everybody else would do that, I would just do it. Oh, I'm telling you, it worked. That's all you got to do. Next time, if you don't know what to do when you're watching soccer, just copy them and copy what they're doing. You're like, oh, okay, I get it now. It makes sense. That guy fell. We want them to call a foul. So I just yelled at the screen and everybody understood exactly why I yelled at the screen. Coming up at the top of the hour, our guy Harold Kuntz is going to join us on the show. So much has happened over the last couple of days. We'll talk to him about it. Keep right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We got a crash Kansas side of things. It's K7 southbound just past Prairie Star Parkway. Right lane is blocked. Other side of things, we've got 435 southbound at 23rd. That's a stall off to the right shoulder. Some onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, let me tell you guys about my friends over at Gates Barbecue. And with 5 area locations, you can celebrate world-class championship soccer and Kansas City culture with our friends over at Gates Barbecue. Maybe you got somebody in from out of town. Maybe they're coming in for Independence Day, the 4th of July. So you got family coming in. We got international visitors. What place to take them than to some of that official Kansas City authentic barbecue taste? Go take them to go get the nooner. Go take them to get the beef on bun, heavy on the sauce, please. Go take them to get the ribs. Maybe you're having a watch party for all the soccer that we're having. You can get the small party tray, the large party tray. You can go get the presidential platter. I'm telling you, next time you're there, you got to get the fries. You got to have them season the fries. You also got to make sure that you get the burnt E-Mac. It's moving up the list of one of my favorite sides in Kansas City. If there's one thing we got here in Kansas City, we got great barbecue sides. The burnt E-Mac, it's definitely on that list. Again, with 5 locations around town, there's even one right around the corner from Kansas City Stadium. So if you're leaving the game this week, what better place to celebrate everything than with our friends over at Gates Barbecue? And also remember, especially with the 4th of July coming up, the next time you're at the grocery store, make sure you get some of the sauce. Make sure you get some of the seasons for your own cookout. I know you guys love to grill. If there's one thing I've learned over the last couple of days of doing the show, it's that you guys love to grill. So you buy all the sauces and all the seasonings and do the grilling for me since I can't. It's Carrington here telling you about our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane and Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250
$250 on your Circa Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the seventh inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Where can you find an extensive line of Blue Demon welding supplies, filler, rods, and wire? Metal by the Foot, located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's go to the phone lines right now to be joined by our friend of the show, Harold Kuntz. He is on Fox 4. He has been to all of these World Cup games. I even saw him at the March on Thursday. Harold, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. One of those rare, slower days today when it comes to the schedule. So I'm doing good.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to enjoy these days when you get them because it's certainly going to pick back up here in a couple of days. So let's just start with this. Which one of these games was your favorite to attend? I believe you've been to all four of these. Certainly correct me if I've been wrong. They've been four very different kind of games. Which was your favorite game to go to?
Yeah, three of them. And I didn't go to the last one. I felt kind of bad about that one, considering the way it turned out. I feel like I missed the best of the lot. But the Argentina game was really cool to me. I just think seeing all that sky blue and white, and obviously with Messi doing the hat trick, you know, it's rare you see the guys that are so anticipated to do something big on a big stage and then actually pull it off, and they did it. And that was pretty cool to watch. So, I mean, I'm going to go with the first one for sure on that one of the three I've been to.
Right now, we're talking to Harold Kuntz, just getting more about his World Cup experiences. So, Harold, this is kind of where I want to start, because for all the conversations that we had about the World Cup over the last couple of years, I don't think that many of us maybe understood this part about it, but now that we're seeing it in real time, I've just really enjoyed so many people not from Kansas City or not from America enjoying Kansas City and America as they start to discover things. That's been a part about this entire experience that I just didn't really factor in for the last 4 years whenever we've discussed this event coming to Kansas City.
You know, it's funny. I actually did factor that in because, you know, someone who's watched World Cup since 90, it's been one of those things where it truly is a world coming together event for whatever particular respective city that is there. And I knew Kansas City would have plenty to offer for the world as long as they came. Now, again, they put out the 650,000 people. I, from the beginning, thought, all right, maybe knock that down a little bit to maybe 550,000, 500,000, something of that nature. That might be a little high. And I think some people are kind of getting that gist now. But what we saw is, take, for instance, the March. You know, we see a bunch of people, and honestly, I saw Steve Spurrier Buccaneers jerseys. I saw, well, I can't say much. My wife was wearing a Syracuse jersey for me.
It's orange, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, anybody and everybody just picked up an orange jersey and said, I want to go join this because it's something that's unforeseen. And that's the biggest part of it. That's the really cool part of it is me. It's unforeseen that Algeria would embrace Lawrence, Kansas the way they have. It's unforeseen that so many people downtown would just skip their lunch to go walk in this march for a little bit. It's unforeseen that one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player of all time, is practicing, training, and playing matches here and could play another match here. Like, this is all unforeseen stuff, and I think the coolest part of it is that the city gets to embrace it. The people that come here for even a day or two or maybe longer, like some of the people that are covering for Argentina or England or Netherlands or the Algeria base camp, they're getting to embrace a whole city and seeing that, okay, hey, you know, this is pretty cool. Not just Kansas City, but like, you know, everything that we've seen in the news overseas, I'm sure, like, you know, you get a perception of America from there, and they're coming here and they're realizing they're kind of just like us, and we have air conditioning, which is huge. So, like, that is the reason why it's been really cool. And I kind of foresaw this type of atmosphere coming, maybe not to the level that it has become, and maybe not to the popularity that it has become, but certainly I definitely thought that when they get the opportunity to come here, they see it, they get boots on the ground, they get to see it. They're like, okay, this is nice. And, you know, the city did this job trying to prepare. You know, you can always over prepare for something, but they try to do their best to prepare. And, you know, there's going to be some mishaps here or there, but for the most part, you know, people have really enjoyed themselves here. And that's been comforting to know.
I don't know how much of this you can answer, so if you can, I completely understand. From a television rating standpoint, are you surprised, A, at the level of interest in Kansas City, and that the level of interest in Kansas City is so much higher than the level of interest basically anywhere else in America?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's always been high when it comes to soccer events. I mean, even the little ones like Gold Cups, Copa Americas that are also on Fox. Last World Cups, Women's World Cups. I mean, Kansas City's kind of always been on top for that soccer market. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you just see the scenes at Power and Light, and everybody's like, ooh, that seems like something cool. They must be really involved in it. And I want to be a part of it in some way or shape or form, even if I'm just watching at home. So I'm not really surprised. I mean, we saw this with the World Baseball Classic when we saw the Royals players doing well. They were totally invested. We see this all the time with the NFL, with the Chiefs. It's always one of the higher shares of any market, you know, watching. And you see the similarities between that and like cities that are very passionate about sports. Like Buffalo's always high, Pittsburgh's always high, Kansas City's always high. And then we saw it with basketball. Like obviously New York went the highest ever, basically because their team was in it. I mean, when there's local pride and your name is attached to something, you're going to watch it more often. And then you throw in the USA flag, and the fact that the team's actually doing well this year, it looks like they got a legitimate shot at the quarterfinal at least. That throws in more excitement, so people are watching. And also it's June, so there's not a lot going on TV too.
Harold, from a ratings perspective, are we getting close to the interest in the United States soccer is close to the interest in watching the Chiefs play? They play a lot of games on your network, a lot of 325 games. Are we getting to the point where on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, how many people plan on watching the United States is close to how many people will watch an average Chiefs regular season game?
Yeah, it'll be interesting because this is the first time I think the U.S. has been in the knockout stage game at prime time since the first time they made it back in 90. So this is a big moment to see what your country's capable of, what Kansas City is capable of, to see where it can get. I mean, we're already getting very close to, I would say, your regular noon Chiefs rating. We're pretty much there. And then I feel like as it progresses, if you get to a quarterfinal, then you're getting, you're getting the NBC nightly rating, you're getting the Fox 325 rating, you're getting the Amazon Thursday night rating. I mean, that's what you're about to get. And I mean, it's big for us. The only drawback is, with this match being Friday, or the Wednesday game with USA, but then our match here at Arrowhead is Friday night, and it's a holiday weekend. So a lot of people are probably going to be out watching fireworks and doing a lot of other stuff. So we'll see how that goes with the going to Kansas City. But the following weekend on the 11th, that'll be a big one for sure, regardless of who's playing. I mean, if it's Argentina, Colombia, you're going to get a big number. Not just here, but nationally as well. So, yeah, it's big for us. It's big for us. We saw with the World Baseball Classic. We're seeing it now. It's the civic pride that's coming to show on TV.
Right now, we're talking to Harold Kuntz with Fox 4 for a couple more minutes, talking a little bit of rating, talking about the World Cup and his experience so far as we are 4 games into the Kansas City portion of it. We have 2 games left, one coming up on the 3rd, one coming up on July 11th. It's funny, Harold, because you went to the games that I didn't go to, but I went to the game that you didn't go to, so it's a little bit of a unique perspective. It's kind of hard to explain going to the game for someone who hasn't been to one of these games because I made the comparison where, like, football games are tense in a way. There's a big third down or late in the game. Like, there's like a pressure, a buildup that you get with the football game. This didn't really have any of that. It was so much singing. It was so happy. It was so many chants and cheers. It was kind of like college football in a way, but college football still has that football feel, a third down, everybody standing up and trying to create noise to kind of distract the other team. This was just like a long party during the game.
Yeah, I was kind of explaining to somebody, it is much more of a collegiate vibe. The only difference is, you go to a college game, wherever you go to a college game, it's always the band kind of telling you to do something or the PA announcer trying to tell you to do something or, everybody knowing that, like you said, it's a third down or a big stop. This is just authentic. They started on their own and they keep doing it and they do their own thing. And, if you've been to any, football atmospheres, overseas or even domestically, like say, if you go to a Liga MX game or something of that nature, that's what they're used to, and that's what it's accustomed to. But we're not accustomed to seeing it here because, there hasn't been too many international soccer matches, at least in a venue like Arrowhead. I know they had the USA-Uruguay game not too long ago, but this is obviously the World Cup. This is the highest of the high. So it's incredible to watch just, with you dealing with Algeria fans being a vibe, Austria fans being a vibe. I saw Argentina. The one difference I would say between the match you went to is that you knew that was going to be kind of split because the fan bases weren't too large. Whereas, you knew Argentina was going to dominate, you knew Ecuador was going to dominate, and you knew Netherlands was going to dominate when it came from a crowd perspective. So those are really cool to see, and the fans are really cool. But they make their own vibe, and I think that's what makes it so cool. It's not to say that Chiefs games don't make their own vibe, but like this is just like a vibe of history and tradition and like centuries of tradition, and they've got their chants and it's just really cool to watch like other cultures kind of just do their thing, but do it here in Kansas City where we're very accepting and being like, okay, this is cool. And like, it's a different vibe to kind of go along with what you're saying.
Harold, I got 2 questions to get you out of here. Let me update people. Paraguay just scored on a cross header, so it is 1-0 against Germany right now. I'm pretty sure Germany was the favorite, at least in that game. Not really sure what the odds were. Rob will tell us here in a little bit.
Yeah, Germany's a big favorite.
Yeah, Paraguay just scored, so they took the 1-0 lead as we are a couple minutes away from halftime there. Harold, who do you have winning this thing?
Yeah, I've been going with France, and so far so good. It's looked good. I mean, the way the brackets kind of draw. I mean, I had France over Spain, but the way the brackets played out now is probably be France over Argentina. And I mean, France, Argentina. I don't know how knee deep into soccer wood you are, Carrington, but like there was a Bayern Munich PSG game in the Champions League semis. It was like 5-4, and when France and Argentina play, it's very much that same vibe: 4-3, 3-2, 3-3 going to PKs. If you get that, you're going to get a grandstand finale. The only drawback is, and I think a lot of people have started to agree with this, New York's the wrong venue for this. They just could have picked anywhere else. I know they want New York because of the big city vibe, but man, they maybe should have gone with L.A. or Atlanta, or heck, if we could have handled it, Kansas City, even though I don't know if we could have handled the World Cup final, but still, it would have been cool to see.
I'll get you out of here with this last thing. Somebody said, it's hard for me to see Harold the same because we asked you about what you put on your hot dog and your hamburger, so I'll try to get you back in the text line. Good gracious. The text line hates me and loves me all the time, so it kind of goes with the territory, Harold. When you and your wife go get ice cream, what flavor do you get? What flavor does she get?
Oh, man, I'm a cookies and cream guy. And she, well, let's see. If it's like a date night, she gets the cinnamon sometimes. So
Okay.
if we Betty Ray's, yeah.
So to Harold, the text line was mad at me earlier for saying that Caitlin Clark should start fighting back and quit letting other girls pick on her. So it happens sometimes.
I'm going to stay so far away from that conversation. You don't. You're not going to get me in trouble.
That is my guy, Harold Coots, joining us on the show. Harold, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for popping on today.
All right, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. That's Harold Koontz joining us on the show today. Rob, you see how a lot of us scared to give Caitlin Clark opinions. It ain't really safe out here in the Caitlin Clark streets. You can't be giving opinions on Caitlin Clark. But sometimes you just got to walk into the fire on this show. You got to walk into the belly of the beast on this show. That's the way that it goes. Rob, I have two things I like to do. Let's just make this the long segment. We're already here now. The first part is when you and Caroline go out to get ice cream, what flavor do you get? What flavor does she get?
I think it depends on the place, and that's a little bit of a cop-out.
No, it's perfectly fine.
Let's say we're going to Andy's.
Okay.
Andy's is a little more, she gets like a concrete. There's like fruit.
I get the straw Anna whenever I go to Andy's.
A similar vibe. She gets like some chocolate, some fruit, and like some graham cracker type of deal in her concrete. I don't know the name of it. I'm sure you guys know. There's that. I get more chocolate, cookie dough type of energy. If we're at a Betty Ray's, I'm a coffee ice cream guy myself. She's sea salt and caramel.
Okay. Two flavors I would never get. I'm going to put that out right now. I love Caroline. Two flavors that I would never participate in. All right. This is the thing I would like to talk to you about. This might honestly be the first time in Drive history that I have ever come up with a soccer topic in the middle of the segment. Like, that happens all the time. I just don't tell you guys. Like, oh, I just was thinking of this. Rob, not that long ago, you told me the United States had no chance of winning this thing.
Correct.
I'm also guessing, I don't know, you would have told me that Germany has a chance, right?
I would not have said that. I was fading Germany. I'm a bettor who has them failing to make the round of 16.
Okay. But
they're a traditional power. They have a lot of name cachet.
The public likes Germany. You might not have publicly like Germany.
Correct.
Just like in the NFL, you might not like a certain team, but you agree they have a chance.
Dallas Cowboys is a good analogy.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe a little better. Germany might be a little better, but I get the point you're making.
Clemson Tigers. Let's go college football.
Yeah. They've won championships in the past. Okay, that's a good comparison. We can land on that. I'm watching the knockout round right now, and I'm watching a team that the U.S. gave the beats to. Again, I don't know much about it, but I sat there and I watched it with you. And the Paraguay right now, who is going to be leading Germany into the half, the United States beat them, and I had you question, is Paraguay even good at soccer? That's how bad the United States beat them. They were up 3-0 in the first 45 minutes and then coasted and beat them 4-1. Only reason I am asking this question is you told me the United States has no chance, and I'm watching teams that the U.S. dominated or countries that you would perceive to be better than the United States. They are struggling against teams that the U.S. made quick work than. I am not here telling you that I think the U.S. is going to win the World Cup. I don't know enough about it. I'm just picking the same teams. Everybody keeps telling me the same 3 teams are going to win the World Cup. So I bet on 2 of those teams. I don't know who's winning this thing. All I'm asking is, Is it possible that the United States is a little better than you are giving them credit for? And maybe they have a little bit higher ceiling than you think they have? Because if Paraguay wins this, and they have a chance, they have a chance to win this.
It's nearing halftime.
I saw the U.S. smoke this team. So if Paraguay can beat Germany, why couldn't the United States beat Germany? Why couldn't they end up being a team that just ends up being a little bit better than you think they are?
I will stand by my they cannot win the World Cup take. I'm not going to run and hide from that. I also think it's crazy to think that I'm the person that's saying that they could exceed that I'm the person saying they can't exceed expectations when I was the one pre-tournament saying expectations are probably too low for the United States. But here we sit. The United States could make a quarterfinal, and I think even in a one-off single elimination game could maybe win a quarterfinal. The reason I do not believe they can win a World Cup is I don't know they can win that quality of game 3 times in a row, which is what it takes. Based on the way the bracket sits right now, the United States has to beat Bosnia. They are favored. They should beat Bosnia. It will not be an easy game. It will be a lot of fingernail chewing down to the wire. They should beat Bosnia. They then will presumably play Belgium, a team that beat them in the 2014 World Cup. I think they can beat Belgium.
A lot of these teams have been beating the United States.
I think they can beat Belgium and get to the quarterfinals. Then in the quarterfinals, which would be the best they've ever done, they'd have to play Spain. Let's say something incredible happens. Then the next match is France. And if somehow, some way that becomes to fruition, they then would probably play Argentina. So I think the United States can really grab the country and really change perception of them as a country playing soccer. I just don't think they can win the World Cup.
Okay, that part's fair. I guess this would be the comparison I would make. And I know that you always crush me for this opinion. The goal for some college basketball programs is not to win the national championship. You know what the goal is? The goal is to make the Final Four. If you were telling me that the United States gets to the point where they play either Spain or France in this thing, and that's the team that eliminates them, it's like they won the World Cup, in my opinion. Nobody thinks that Florida Atlantic is going to win the national championship. But playing on that last weekend and playing on that Saturday and making it to the football stadium, that's like winning the national championship. So I agree with you. Even in my novice opinion, I'm with you. They're probably not winning but if they get to that, I feel everybody that talks about the U.S. has put, I would say, a relatively low ceiling on them. Hey, we're going to win this group that we didn't really think was that good. I was with you. You were dancing in the street when they got that group because if you thought they were going to win it. They are a heavy favorite over Bosnia. They have not done anything or beat a team, I guess, punching up. They have not punched up in any way. They are about to get to a point where, all right, they're going to play a team that on paper you think might be better than them. I don't know if they've ever been equipped in my lifetime to win that game more than they are right now.
I actually 100% agree with that. And I think each college basketball program has different expectations. The thing is perfect. I do believe the expectation is beat Bosnia. I don't believe they're punching up. They're probably punching the same weight class with Bosnia and the United States. We win that one. Then if you play Belgium on Monday the 6th, that's punching up. If you win that one, it's house money. If you're telling me it's the 11th, which I believe is the 10th, if you're telling me it's Friday, July 10th, and the United States in a quarterfinal, I don't care who they're playing, house money. If they're up against Spain, house money. Let's just see what happens. But to get to the quarters, which would be the second best they've ever done in this tournament and tied for the best in the modern tournament, is a massive success. And I think people kind of fail to understand how big of a deal that is. There are a lot of, for your college basketball analogy, a lot of college basketball programs that don't make the Elite Eight. Like they don't. It's not a thing. I'm sure, remember for years Baylor was a, punching bag in the Big 12. When they first made the Elite Eight, it was a party in Waco. Hey, we made the Elite Eight. This is awesome. If the United States does that, it will have that same feel. It'll have a why not us feel, but also, can you believe we got to hear how great is this?
Text line 913-586-7965. Hold up. Isn't every team's goal to win the championship, not just get to the playoff and be happy? What you're saying doesn't make any sense. I think that's a fan kind of goal and expectation. I don't really think it's based in realism. For example, if Kansas football made the college football playoff and they had to go on the road to, let's say they play like Ohio State as like a at-large team, that would be that would be the best season in Kansas football history. Now, obviously, you want to win those games, but making the college football playoff would absolutely be a win. So at least that's my stance. Everybody doesn't have to have that stance, but Missouri's goal to start a season and Ohio State's goal in college football, they cannot have the same goals. Kansas basketball goals and Boston College's basketball goals cannot be the same. I'm guessing Boston College is just happy with making the NCAA tournament this year. I'm going to guess that's not good enough at Kansas. So yes, in theory, everybody wants to win, of course, but the goals have to be relative. So if the United States, let's say in this, they make it to the Elite Eight and get eliminated and they lose to Argentina, I don't know if anyone's going to look at that as being a disappointment because they didn't win a championship. Now, I've learned this over the course of the last week watching this. There's only been 8 countries that have won the World Cup. 8. Obviously, it doesn't happen every 4 years. I get that. There have been 8 countries that have won it. And my understanding is they've all either been in South America or in Europe.
Correct.
So think about that.
That's the only two
think about
continents.
all the other places in the world. The only teams that have won the World Cup are either in Europe or in South America. United States, not in either one of those places. Not in either one of them. No, not even close to one of the places that win it. So no, the goal for everyone is not to win the championship. If Missouri just made the Final Four, I would feel like they won the national championship. They throw a parade. I'd dance in the streets. I would dance in the streets if that's what happened. Dance if that was the case. Someone said, C-Dot, bro, KU had their best season winning the Orange Bowl. That's better than making round 1 of the college football playoff. It would not be better in my opinion.
It also would have been round 1 based on the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Yeah, no, it's a very different format. But yeah, if Kansas football made the first round of the college football playoff, that'd be the best season they've ever had, in my opinion. I get the Orange Bowl season. It's a little bit different, but I mean, that Orange Bowl team would have went to the round 1 of the college football playoff, et cetera.
They would, if they made round 1 of the college football playoff, they would put it on the building. 2026 first college football appearance.
That KU team probably would have hosted a game too.
Yeah.
That KU team probably would have hosted that year if it had been the old format. Missouri probably still would have had to go on the road. They probably would have cheated Missouri. You know how they get down. They just cheated Mizzou that whole year. Kansas shouldn't even have been in the Orange Bowl. Should have been the Cotton Bowl. Missouri should have been in the Orange Bowl. Would have beat Virginia Tech by 40, but that's another story for another day.
Maybe compete in the Big 12 title game. That's what I would say. Show up.
Kansas didn't even make the Big 12 title game.
Neither
because they lost to Missouri. That's why they didn't do it. Because they lost to Mizzou. Keep it right here as The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore with FanDuel Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
My home's my happy place, but I started to notice those fading colors and peeling paint. I needed a team that cared about the details as much as I do. The CertaPro painters exceeded my expectations. Their free estimate was incredibly detailed and easy to understand. They brought fresh color and quality craftsmanship to our home. Whether it's interior or exterior, protect your home with the best. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got the multi-car crash working down at 435 westbound and State Line. 2 right lanes are blocked. 2-car crash, 40 highway eastbound just past 70. Right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, it has now become time to update you on the Terrion Arnold situation. Now, you guys remember the Terrion Arnold situation, but if you don't, we're going to get back into it. His bail was set at $1 million. Now, he is out, and we'll get to it. Terrion Arnold has since been released from the Detroit Lions. He is not going to be picked up by anybody else. Terrion Arnold is not playing football this season. So let me read you a little bit of the story. Detroit Lions player Terrion Arnold was granted $1 million bail on Monday after he was charged in a kidnapping and armed robbery plot. Authorities testified at the cornerback's bail hearing that he offered to pay his 18-year-old lover. Now starting to count some math. I'm not going to ask too many questions. Terrion Arnold seems a lot older than 18 to me, but you know what? Not my business. The authorities testified at this man's hearing that he offered to pay his 18-year-old lover and her roommate to lure the targets back to the apartment, promising them, well, you know. The judge set the bond at $1 million. And the prosecution wanted him to wear an ankle monitor. The only reason he is not wearing an ankle monitor is because his lawyer argued that this was going to hinder his ability to play in the NFL. Like they thought somebody who is currently, and I know this is a little different than what happened with Rashee Rice, somebody who is currently in jail, who is currently being tried for 4 counts of kidnapping and armed robbery, like they were going to show up in a month ready for football practice. They don't got to worry about that. He will have a lot of free time. Now, he does have to stay on home arrest. He can't leave to go to work, court, or meet with lawyers. He is not going to go to work. Here is the story. So they had a hearing. There was testimony that Terrion Arnold, who was 23 years old, asked his girlfriend to ask her roommate to get these 2 guys to come to the crib for a little late night shenanigans. Now, what always messes these situations up, of course, they are texting about a criminal activity. Rob, why do people do this? Why are you going to send electronic messages that can be traced to another person about you being involved in a crime? You don't think at some point that this could implement you in said crime? That whatever you say can and will be used against you in the court of law? Have you never watched SWAT? Have you never watched Law and Order or CSI? This is stupid. Quote, they are trying to set him up and he's trying to pay us for it. That is his girlfriend texting her roommate. So his plan was simple. I thought these men robbed me. Let me get my girl and her homegirl. They're going to invite these dudes over with the promises of late night shenanigans. Now, I will say the only smart thing that Terrion Arnold did in this entire thing is that would have worked on me. Rob, I'm guessing there was a time in your life this would have worked on you too. Hey, Ariana and Jasmine are inviting us over to the crib and they say that they want to hang out. I'm guessing this would have got you over to the house, especially as someone between the ages of 18 and 25 years old. I'm guessing you also would have went over there. I would have fallen for that trap. Quote, at one point, the girlfriend then realized, why are we texting about this? And suggested that they should delete the text. But then she replied, quote, I'm going to get my money. They then continue texting and talking about this, and the cops just have so much information. They were pointing out about where they were going to do this and that they didn't want to take them to the hotel because there's cameras at a hotel. The police literally have all of the information because they are on these people's phone. So stupid. So dumb. I don't know if Terrion Arnold did this or didn't do it, allegedly. But the text messages seem to be very, very clear to me that you asked your girlfriend and her roommate. I also have questions about that. Like, if you sleeping with an NFL player, you still got a roommate? Like, what's the purpose of sleeping with the NFL player? If he can't even get you your own apartment? Seems like very poor management to me.
Well, she's, if I recall, 18. She might be a freshman in college. Could be a dorm roommate.
If you are sleeping with an NFL player, I feel like one of the advantages of being in that situation with somebody who is a millionaire is, can you help get me my own apartment?
I'm not disagreeing.
I just stay with you, especially because Arnold was a first-round pick, 4 years, $14.3 million fully guaranteed deal. Now, he ain't making that much money anymore, but you can't get your girl a little $700, $800 a month little studio place to herself?
It's a good question. I feel like you skipped over her age a lot quicker than I would have.
Okay.
I also like is a poor term. I find it amusing that in these texts the police have, she says, we should stop texting about this, and then proceeds to continue texting about it because she's worried about getting paid out for the crime.
Can we go back just for something else? Someone on the text line says, see that I'm sorry behind, but your take on Caitlin Clark is so bad, so you want her to start playing dirty. I guess my point to this with anybody on the other side is, how do you think this works for Caitlin Clark? Because this is how I feel about the Caitlin Clark situation. We don't got that much time in a second anyway. This is how I feel. I feel like people want the WNBA to tell the other players to be nice to Caitlin Clark. That's what I feel like. Now, I think we all can agree, like we maybe can agree on this part in the middle. The game should be officiated better than how it has been. And I think the officiating has caused some of these issues with Caitlin Clark. But I keep hearing that they want the league to step in. How do you think the league steps in this scenario? How do you think that? Because I saw a thing that since Caitlin Clark has entered the league, no player has had more flagrant fouls against them than Caitlin Clark. She's had 9 flagrant fouls against her since she's entered the WNBA. So no player has been in this situation more than her by definition. If you are Caitlin Clark, how do you think it gets better? Because we might disagree on what you think needs to be done to get it better, but that's what I would ask. How do you think it gets better if you're Caitlin Clark? Because we've been having this conversation for a while. Remember when the girl hip checked her? Very unnecessary. She hip checked her. The one girl just had her on the ground and looked like she was trying to give her a choke slam. How do you think this improves with Caitlin Clark? Or do you think that this is just, you think she just quits? Because they've been doing this to her now for 3 seasons. They've been beating up on Caitlin Clark. So I would love for someone to answer my question if you think my idea is bad of just eventually you just have to start fighting back. Eventually, you got to start being the one that delivers the punishment. You got to be the one that starts doing the pushing. You got to be the one that starts to stand up for yourself. That can't be Sophie Cunningham. That can't be the league. You need to be the one that stands up for yourself. So I would really love to hear the other side of the argument of how do you think that Caitlin Clark should get the other girls in the sport to stop pushing her around?
I don't know there is a right or wrong way. I'm not saying I agree with you. I don't necessarily disagree with you. But I'd say what the system that she has been using now, which is let the refs legislate, they will eventually legislate correctly, has failed. That I think we're going to both agree that her idea of the refs got my back or will take care of the problem is incorrect. I don't know if she needs to have a, Bill Lambier on her team. I don't know if she needs an enforcer. I don't know what she needs, but I know what she has been doing has been a problem for her and the league so far.
Yeah, and this whole argument, this part is crazy to me. I don't know how the idea of she should just quit is better than the idea of they keep pushing you, maybe you should push them back. Maybe I'm wrong in doing this. This is not advice I would give to a kid. Hey, they keep picking on you at school. Why don't we just transfer? No, stand up for yourself. Hey, you tried to go to the teacher. You tried to do something about it. Maybe you should be the one to push back, fight back. I'm not saying we got to have a brawl in the middle of the court, but they don't really seem to have any problem being physical with you. Why do you seem to have a problem being physical with them? Caitlin Clark can just, if you just want her to quit, sure. That's how I would look at it. If Caitlin Clark tomorrow said, I'm not going to play in the WNBA anymore, I'm going to Italy to play basketball, I look at Caitlin Clark as a quitter. And everything about her seems to be that she is a very fierce competitor. That's what it seems to me. She's very, very fiery, very, very fierce. So fight back. That's all I'm saying. Push back. They really do not seem to have a problem pushing you. They, in fact, seem to enjoy pushing you around. They seem to love it. And most of the time, people pick on you when they know you're not going to do something back. Have you ever realized the people that talk to you a certain way until you snap back at them? Hey, don't talk to me like that. That's what I think is happening in real time with Caitlin Clark. A lot of times people know who they can push and who they can't push. They know who they can talk crazy to and who they can't talk crazy to. And it seems to me they seem to know that Caitlin Clark is one of those kind of people. What's the penalty? A 1-game suspension? Okay, all right. They all seem to be pretty fine to me taking the 1-game suspension. They seem to be a pretty good idea. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the top stories of the day. Keep it right here, so drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin, thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code SNAP to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic? Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you.
Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Multi-car crash still working. It's 435 westbound just past State Line. The 2 right lanes are blocked. And then you've got 40 Highway. This is going to be eastbound just past 70. Right lane blocked there. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Germany just scored. It is 1-1. We are 55 minutes into the match. I didn't see the goal, but I do know that Germany just scored just a second ago. Rob, I want to close our Caitlin Clark conversation with this. I was just saying, hey, what solution would you have? And this is what the text line said. CDOT, it's easy. The league just needs to retroactively fine the players for flagrant fouls against Caitlin. They should just fine them. That would deter them. Let me just kind of break this down a little bit. Rob, do you know who fouled Caitlin Clark? Do you know her name?
I don't. I know she played on Phoenix.
It was Alyssa Thomas.
Okay.
Did you know that Alyssa Thomas is the highest paid player in the WNBA, actually, because they just changed the rules, right?
Yep.
She's the highest paid player. She signed a 3-year, $3.6 million a year deal. She makes $1.2 million a year. Would you guys want to guess how much a flagrant foul is in the WNBA?
I'm going to guess $100,000.
That's your final answer?
The final answer.
If you commit a flagrant foul in the WNBA, a flagrant foul costs you $5,000.
Ooh, nothing.
Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I apologize. Hold on. Hold on. I can't even read. It's $500.
I'm sorry. $500?
It's $500. If you commit a flagrant 1 foul, it costs you $500, and a flagrant 2 is $1,000.
Sounds like they need a new CBA. That's what it sounds like to me.
I just like to point that out. So that everybody has gone crazy about. I'm sorry, I misspoke. For how crazy everybody has gone about what happened to Caitlin Clark. And we all agree, that's wrong. That's not a basketball play. You should be suspended. You should be fined for doing that. Somebody who makes $1.2 million got a $1,000 fine and a 1-game suspension. Doesn't really seem that bad. Doesn't seem like that's really I don't know if that's that much of a deterrent in the situation. It doesn't seem like that much of a deterrent to me. That is a very insane amount of money. $500? What are we doing? You might as well fine them. Just make them do community service. You got to do 100 hours of community service if you commit a flagrant foul. That's what you should have to do. $500?
That's more community service than Rasheed Rice had.
That's what I'm saying, but it should be something like that. If you want a real deterrent, that's not a deterrent. $500? $1,000 for a flagrant 2? It's just not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all, actually.
And for her, there are probably players in the league that you notice that a little more. Not everyone's making what Alyssa Thomas is making.
No, for sure. I don't know what, even the minimum now. I hope you got a $500 fine, though.
I would imagine you still have it.
I actually think these WNBA players make way more money than we think they are. Like, for example, like Sophie Cunningham, I don't think that basketball is her highest earning. I think she makes a lot of money doing other things. I think that's kind of where we are with WNBA players. Like, I would consider basketball for them to be a side hustle now at this point. For the ones that you have heard of, the ones that you would talk about, they're not making the most. Angel Reese is making more money not playing basketball than playing basketball. Caitlin Clark is making way more money not playing basketball than playing basketball at this point. That's like a side hustle for them.
That's probably fair. The endorsement deals is what you're referencing there with making more money.
Everything. Just being a brand and influencer.
Mm-hmm.
hey, do your makeup on TikTok and promote this thing. I think they're making a lot more money than we think they are making in 2026.
From outside, I think their in-league number is what you not expect, what you see. But I think it's outside. There's a lot more cash to be had.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will talk about the World Cup. I went to the game on Saturday. Rob was also at the game on Saturday. We will talk about that. One thing I did know from going to the game, people, not a big fan of the hydration break. That was one of the things that stood out to me the most. All right, Rob, now in hindsight, in retrospect, now that we have seen all 4 of the group stage games, do you feel like you went to the best game? Because I feel like people are going to have more memories about the first game with Argentina. It's the very first one. It's Argentina. Lionel Messi had a hat trick. Like, that's probably the one we're going to talk about 5-10 years from now. Like, were you at that one? But I do feel like people are going to tell the story of being at the game that we were at on Saturday. I don't really know if that's going to be the case with the Ecuador game. Like, it was a great game to be at, but, like, I don't know if people are going to remember it in the same way. I think people are going to remember more about the day of the Netherlands, maybe more so than the actual individual game. But, I mean, I've been to a lot of sporting events. I have not really seen too many endings that I would say were crazier than the one that I saw on Saturday. It was 2 teams to me that clearly looked like they were not trying to win, and then to score 2 goals in the final 4 minutes. And the last goal ensured that you would advance in the World Cup. It was a crazy ending on Saturday night.
So I think to answer your question, me and you saw the best match, but it's not the one that people will remember in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I think the best memory will be Messi's match. If you were at the Messi match, it was the first one in Kansas City. Kansas City was sky blue. It was sold out. It was packed. Every celebrity was there, and you saw Messi do something incredible. That is the one people will speak on. But I actually think as far as pure match goes, the one Saturday was better. I mean, Argentina just throttled Algeria. It was never competitive. This one was as back and forth, and you could argue it's been the most competitive, fun match in the tournament. So I think they are 1-2, but because Messi's star power, it wouldn't shock me if people have it as 1.
I really would like a news report, and maybe this news report exists and you guys can tell me about it. I didn't park in the parking lot because the parking is ridiculous price to park inside of there. And it's been a while since I parked in like one of the houses or the church across the street and just walked. But if parking is going to be how much it is to go to one of these World Cup games, I made the right decision. I would love to know and talk to the people that let people park in their yard. Like, what do you do with this extra money, you know? Especially for the Chiefs games. You know, there's 10, 12 times a year that you let people park over there. You're making $20 to $40 a car. Like, that's a nice little chunk of change that you got. Are you putting this towards your house? Are you going on a nice vacation? Does this pay for Christmas? Does this pay off student loan debt? Like, there's not a lot of people in the city that, like, have this advantage. People don't really do this for Royals games. Like, why would you not park in the lot? And, like, I'm not walking that far to go to a Royals game, but there's definitely people, Rob, for Chiefs games that if you live in one of the houses that are close to the stadium, you have made a decent amount of money over the last however long you've lived there off allowing people to park in your driveway, park in your yard, and be able to go over there. I'd love to know a little bit more about, hey, what do you do with all this money that you made? All right, coming up on the other side, we'll talk about my experiences on Saturday and go into the World Cup. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Multi-car crash still working. It's 435 westbound just past State Line. The 2 right lanes are blocked. And then you've got 40 highway. This is going to be eastbound just past 70. Right lane blocked there. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
Today's Match Day Preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. We've reached the knockout round stage of the World Soccer Championship, and a lot of the pre-tournament favorites are still at the top of the futures market. France at plus 400 is the favorite, followed by defending champion Argentina and pre-tournament favorite Spain, who are both at plus 575. According to markets, all three of these teams have the best odds to reach the final, with France leading the way at 34%. After winning Group F, Netherlands' odds to win the trophy have dropped down from 20-1 to 14-1, and the USA odds are down to 28-1 to win it all after beginning the tournament at 60-1. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day Preview brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
At Shawnee Mission Ford right now, they're allowing you to get a big win, and that is employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Employee pricing for everyone on 25 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions. And you still get all the rebates and incentives offered from Ford on top of employee pricing, along with top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their Match Day Meat Bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. So I want to tell you guys a story about my Saturday. So I had tickets to go to the World Cup game on Saturday. I'd never been to an international soccer game before. I've been to a handful of Sporting Kansas City games in my time, but an international soccer game, I had never been to. Now, you guys should know I'm not the biggest soccer fan in the world, but I've been getting into this World Cup, and I just wanted to experience it for myself. You don't know if we'll get this opportunity again or when we'll get this opportunity again, so I wanted to make it a point to say that I've been there, to experience it, and to go. So I had just decided that Saturday was going to be a big soccer day for me. I was going to completely immerse myself in the soccer culture. Now, I did not know about this really until Friday, but at St. John's Catholic Club in KCK, they do a big watch party for Croatia. And it just so happened that Croatia played at 4 o'clock, and then the game that I had tickets for was at 9 o'clock. Now, I know enough about soccer to know that the game was at 4. It wasn't going to take too long. And I had enough time to be able to go to this watch party and see what it was like, and then go to the game later on in the day. So me and my friends all got in the car, and we went to the game. And Rob, I don't know if you've ever been to one of these watch parties, which I don't know why you wouldn't have been. You're the one that told me about it. But let me tell you, it was an A+ experience. Now, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, you told me it was a bowling alley. So I go in there, and you were not lying. It was a bowling alley. They had 6 lanes. They had people set up. Some people had brought like their own spread, their own food, their own liquor from the crib. And everybody was just in such a happy mood. There was kids running around. They were playing. Everybody was dressed up in the Croatian colors. Rob, I didn't have any Croatian stuff, but I did have a little bit of USA stuff, which is like kind of close to what they were wearing. And I felt like I had to be in like soccer festivities for the day. So I was in there and hanging out. And then there wasn't really a place to sit because the bowling alley is kind of small. So they were like, hey, you should go upstairs. There's a lot more room. Like, all right, cool. I'll go up there. I didn't really know how many people were going to be up there. I thought it was like the overflow room. No, I go up there. You could tell like this was a gym back in the day or a place where they would do like plays or something. And let me tell you, Rob, this place was packed. Hundreds of people, all wearing Croatia stuff to watch soccer. And all I knew is that Croatia at least needed a result. I don't know if they needed to win or tie, but I knew they couldn't lose. It's like, all right, I'm going to sit there. Rob, let me tell you, it was a fantastic time. Everybody was so happy. Everybody was so kind. They were getting me Croatia food to eat. I had a couple of Croatian beers. They had one I think you would like. It was kind of like an IPA, pale ale kind of situation. It was a great A+ time. So much, in fact, that I would highly encourage any of you, if you're looking for like a fun place to watch the World Cup over the course of the next couple of days, I believe that Croatia plays on Thursday. They play on Thursday at 6 o'clock. We're off at 5:30. Rob, you already know where I'm going to be. I'm headed down to watch Croatia. That's my team. I've adopted them. I'm cheering for them as much as I'm cheering for the U.S. in this thing. So it was a great time. We all got back in the car. We then drove out to the stadium. Now, we parked in this guy's lawn. It was $25. I mean, they had like varying degrees. Like people were charging different prices to let you park inside of the, in their driveway or whatever. And you know me, I was looking for the best deals. I kind of drove around for a little bit. Oh, $25. It was probably about a half block up from that Hotel Lotus. I was like, this is the perfect place to go. The guy was super friendly. Walked down there. Now, if you haven't been to one of the games, or maybe you have been to one of the games, what I will say, they do a really good job at the World Cup. That's a little bit different at like a Chiefs game, because the Chiefs game, I would say like you are the party. Like there's a couple of Chiefs parties, but it's kind of set up where people kind of do their own thing and they tailgate. It's not really how this was set up. So they kind of had like a TSA entryway that was before you get to the regular gate. But then when you got past that first gate, it was kind of was like Fan Fest, honestly. It was just a lot of sponsors. It was a real big setup. They had a DJ set up like a club, and they were just playing and dancing. That was a thing that I think was very different than going to a football game. It's obviously a party when you go to a football game, when you go to a tailgate, but this was just, it's kind of hard to explain. It was just peaceful. It was a vibe in a very, very different way. I made the point earlier, football games are really tense at times. This wasn't ever tense. The best comparison I would have is if you've been, it felt like the College World Series outside. That's maybe the best comparison. That's what it felt like. It was a lot of people who were there for, like me, just, hey, I'm here because this is the World Cup. It was a lot of people that were there representing their country or their nationality, and they were just having a really good time. But the outside party, Rob, was a lot of fun. You probably spent a little bit more time out there than I spent. I was maybe out there for like 20 minutes. I wasn't out there for a very long time. How was your experience before we got to the game?
My experience, I was out there. I was probably out there for about an hour to 90 minutes before the game. It was very fun. I mostly was kind of just taking it in, but it is a party. Like, I don't want to say Arrowhead's parking lot isn't usually a party, but it is. But it's like individual pop-up parties. This was one all-inclusive thing. It felt like everyone's party. Now, unlike a tailgate, pricing was expensive. It was...
No, they wasn't playing. I actually got the number. I took a picture of it. Hold on. I got a picture of it. Let me pull it up here. I got a picture.
They were proud of their work. Let's just say that.
Let me tell you this. All right, so hold on. This is serious. All right, so I took a picture when I was outside. For a 16-ounce Michelob Ultra, it was $22.15. For the non-alcoholic Michelob Ultra, still 16-ounce, the Michelob Zero, $13.93. Have you had one of those neutrals? It's like a vodka seltzer. I've never had one before. At least I don't remember.
It's like a Truly, but like it's more
like a White Claw, like a High Noon. All right, I've never had one before. The vodka seltzer, $22.15. People, for a regular Dasani 20-ounce water, it was $8. $8. If you wanted a 20-ounce, let's say you wanted a Sprite, $11.39 for a 20-ounce Coca-Cola product drink or a Powerade. Now you see why I didn't spend so much time out there. I would have been out there like, oh, hey, let's get a beer. Oh, let's hang out. Not when the drinks are $22 for a Michelob Ultra. No, I'm okay. I'll go inside. I didn't really want to spend too much time out there. I'd already been partying and hanging out.
Oh, don't worry. The one I had, I nursed. It was,
I'm sure.
It was not. Once I bought the one, this was not let me get a few. It was like I got my one. Let me walk around. The big takeaway I had from the party, and we can talk about the actual match itself in a minute. The big takeaway I had from that party outside is this is where it's light years different than an NFL game. Because I was literally standing there, and I was kind of near the DJ area, and it was full of Algerian fans. And now some of them were like actual Algerian fans. Some of them were people from Lawrence that had Rock Chalk Algeria shirts. But the actual Algerian fans, they're chanting, they're dancing, they're having a great time. Right behind me was a group of Austrian fans. They got a flag, they're chanting, they're dancing, they're having a great time. My football brain goes to, if there were Chiefs fans at one tailgate and Charger fans at their tailgate, we'd have beef. It'd be like the Hatfields and the McCoys. That's how NFL games are at times. That is not at all what this was. It was a community experience, despite the fact that in 90 minutes, Algeria and Austria were going to be competing. It didn't matter to the fans. We're both out here, both vibing. There's good music. It's a party in the streets. That is the one big takeaway from the party area that I took away, is that it wasn't a Chiefs party or an Algeria party. It was a welcome to the match party.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, yeah, I went to FanFest after the match a couple of days ago. I got in line and saw the beer prices. I walked out of the line and said, nope. The lady behind the counter said, I know. Somebody else said you could literally buy an entire pack of Ultras for the price of one. That's what made it hard. Coming from the party at St. John's, and they were charging $3 for a Michelob Ultra, to then go out there and for that same beer that I just had an hour ago, to now pay $22 for it. No, it was good. I didn't need any. I was fine. Y'all got it. I wasn't participating in that. If you were participating in it, great. I didn't have any issues. I was not participating in that. So enough about that. So we go inside, and honestly, it's hard to explain how different of an experience it was than what it is usually like to go to a Chiefs game. The point I made earlier, It is just football games are intense. Football games are tense. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of drama. There's a 3rd and 5 in which you know your team needs to get off of the field, so you got to stand up and make a whole lot of noise. There is like a level of nervous energy that is just in the air in a football game. A team has to kick a field goal, and you know how important this field goal is and when it misses. This was very, very different of a sporting event to watch and to just witness. Everybody there just seemed to be so happy to be there, to be so happy to enjoy the experience, the before the game and the pageantry of it. Like, watching it on television doesn't do justice of what it's like to be at the game before it starts. When they put those 2 big flags on the field and it takes up a large majority of the field, and you got the 2 countries standing there and they're singing their national anthem and the crowd is singing the national anthem back, it is amazing to see. So the presentation of it all, 10 out of 10, would recommend. Now let's get to the soccer game. The soccer game for the first 30 minutes was pretty boring. I thought it was shenanigans about to happen. Like, oh, they both need the tie. They're both not going to try. They're both going to play keep away, and that's going to be it. The first goal of the game, the crowd didn't even really get excited. It was almost like we realized that they scored on accident, that they were not trying to score, and then accidentally a goal happened. And then after that moment of that first goal, let me tell you, it got fun. Both sides were going back and forth. They were trying to score. So it is now 2-2. Fast forward a little bit. It's 2-2. I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, these teams needed a draw. They gave us a good show. It was a good game. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's singing. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's happy to see their team perform in the World Cup. This is going to be the end of it. You then see at the end, Algeria played keep away. You told me earlier they sent 190 passes. It's like the longest. It was a long time of keep away. And then with 1 minute to go, it was like Algeria just decided, hey, let's just try to win. And then they go out, they score. It's 3-2. Everybody is standing there in disbelief because who could have guessed it based off of what just happened? No one looked like they wanted to win. And then Austria gets their opportunity. If you remember, Rob, at first, Austria kicked the ball out of bounds. Now, I'm kind of understanding some of the rules in soccer. I will maybe never understand the rules in soccer in the 2 weeks I got left of watching this event. I don't got a whole lot of time left in it. But there's 90 minutes, then there's stoppage time, but then there's additional time to the stoppage time. None of it makes sense to me. So when Austria kicks the ball out of bounds, it's past the stoppage time. It's past the 4 minutes. I assume that means the game is over and they just lost, and oh my goodness, that's how you got eliminated from the World Cup. The refs then decide to give them one more chance to score and one chance left to advance in the World Cup. And then what do you know? They score and they tie the game. Both teams are celebrating, both fan bases. Like, even though it was a tie, no one was really upset that there was a tie. Everybody seemed to be happy. Then walking out of the stadium, the Algeria fans, who you would think would maybe be upset that their team tied instead of losing or winning the game, they were going crazy. They were dancing in the streets. Somebody had brought a drum. I got a video of it. I don't even know how you get a drum out there. There's so many things you can't bring, but you can now bring a drum, and they were playing the drums. I've been to a lot of sporting events. I've never been to a sporting event like that before. It was really a lot of fun. I had a great day being a soccer fan. I don't know how many more soccer day fans I have, but that one, A+. It was great. I don't know if it could be better for me as a soccer fan. I peaked. I don't mean this as an insult to Chiefs games, because I think Chiefs games are great, and I've had a lot of fun at Arrowhead in my life. This was a unique experience. That doesn't mean it's better. That doesn't mean it's worse, but it was unique. You mentioned the tenseness. Soccer just inherently doesn't have these high tense moments, especially in group play when, the knockout round. I'm betting if you're a German fan right now in Massachusetts and you're tied 1-1 with 7 minutes to go, you're starting to feel a little tensity. But that's different in soccer. It's free flowing. There's a lot of movement. But it just felt like everyone was in there to have a good time. Everyone was in there for the same energy. I want my team to win, but I don't really care about what happens outside of that. Maybe it's because a draw was needed. And maybe it's because there's so many neutrals. Like, you were up in the upper tank with me. It was not like the upper deck was full of hardcore Austrian and Algerian fans. There was a lot of people in Sporting jerseys and America jerseys and random jerseys. Just, hey, this is a match to go see. But it was
one of the more unique experiences I've ever had at Arrowhead. And I don't know if I can ever replicate it. And it was unique the fact that I've been to neutral site games at Arrowhead. That was an interesting neutral site, and the fact that it seemed like when teams scored, everyone cheered. It wasn't like one side was ever upset.
No, I've never left a sporting event like that, honestly, ever. I've never experienced anything like that. Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, I will never respect a sport in which you can tie like the NFL. You can tie in football games. Okay, well, I don't know. I'll leave soccer alone. I'll leave soccer to themselves. I never thought I would say this, but I was at a game in which no one won the game and had a lot of fun watching neither team win the game. I've never seen anything like the last 4 minutes of that game, ever. Not in my entire life. Not any sporting event I've ever been to where I was convinced it was going to be a tie. I was perfectly happy with it being a tie. Next thing I know, out of nowhere, one team has the lead and the other team takes the lead, and it's just like, well, let's just go home. The game's over. It's like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was great. I enjoyed it. A+. All right, Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with C-Dot and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Hits brought to you by Jungle Law. Call the lawman at Jungle Law, 816-816-9111. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, it's time to call the lawman. And be sure to watch the lawman get roasted for a good cause Saturday, August 1st at the historic Uptown Theater.
All right, so this is what I want to talk about. The ratings are out for the group stage of the World Cup. Kansas City is dominating the ratings. So I don't got to get into like the nitty gritty of ratings and how they work, but this is where we're at. Kansas City is at a 3.8. Second place is Boston with 3.05. Third place is Austin at 3.04. Dallas is in fourth place with 2.88. San Diego is in fifth at 2.86. There is a larger gap between Kansas City and second place than there is between Boston and St. Louis, which Boston is second and St. Louis is 10th in the World Cup ratings. The ratings are through the roof for the World Cup. We had Harold Kuntz on the show earlier today. He works at Fox 4. He's got a good understanding of television ratings. And he told us earlier that the United States games, the ratings for the U.S. is comparable right now to a Chiefs noon game. So not a Chiefs marquee game. They don't usually play their marquee games at noon, certainly not these days. But he thinks as the tournament keeps going and as the games potentially get bigger, we'll see it get closer to a 325. We'll see it get closer to a Chiefs game that comes on in prime time at night. I have enjoyed the World Cup so far. I think it has been a lot of fun. I guess, Rob, my biggest question with the ratings and why they are so well is, when did this happen and how did this start? Because I don't feel like it was like this 20 years ago. Like when you and I were kids and we were coming up, I don't feel like it was like this. I feel sporting deserves a lot of credit for the last 20 years and turning Kansas City into soccer fans. But at this point, like, I can't even say that this is just a USA patriotic thing, because the party that they are going to have for Mexico, tomorrow, Mexico plays in a World Cup elimination game on a Taco Tuesday. Tomorrow, Power and Light is going to be through the roof tomorrow. FanFest is also going to be through the roof tomorrow. The weather is great. It's hot outside. Your team is playing. People are going to be out and about tomorrow watching the game. So it's not just a United States thing. They're obviously a big part of it, but it's just not a U.S. thing. Mexico is playing. I think we also know the games that are in Kansas City, a lot of people are going to make it a point to go out and try to watch those games at some kind of watch party. Kansas City has embraced this event more so than any other city in America.
I don't know the moment this happened, but you're right. 20 years ago, there was a World Cup. I do not remember Kansas City being a hub for that World Cup. I don't remember it being a thing. I was in college in 2010. The United States in the World Cup. I do not remember Kansas City being this destination. You have the live shot from, at the time, ESPN. Look how they're doing. The World Cup's really popping off in Kansas City. That was not a thing. And then, ever since it feels like that, the last World Cups have been Fox, ESPN. They have drones. They have big videos in Kansas City. The Women's World Cup. Remember, there's that photo of Power and Light. It's full, like overflowing with people to watch the women's national team in the World Cup final. 2014, Power and Light's packed. 2018, they didn't make the World Cup, but 2022 packed. That was in the winter. And it's been a thing for a while now. Sporting Park, when they were up and running and actually had a good organization, they were packed. I don't know when Kansas City became a soccer hub, but it absolutely 1,000% has become the place. I don't know if it's just they don't have, the other two of the big four sports. They only have baseball and football, so they've embraced soccer culture, but it is everything. I've been to international games at Arrowhead that don't feature the United States, like a friendly. It's full. Like, it is a soccer town now, and I don't know when it happened, but I'm going to give the credit to Sporting Kansas City in the current because those weren't really entities when we were younger.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all of this. Like, someone just sent this in. For Kansas City, it's a celebration of our city, not the game. We have patriotism for our town. I think that's some of it. I do. I think that's some of it. But I think people, I'm not going to make it seem like everybody doesn't like soccer. I think soccer definitely has it. But I think maybe to the celebration of our city, I think that Kansas City understands that we as a city don't get these kind of events very often. So I do think there is a pride when Kansas City is given these opportunities to make the most of it and show the rest of America how great Kansas City is. I think Kansas City takes those as a challenge in order to do those. And that's why I think for something like this, feeling fortunate that you got it. Like, I talked to enough people who live in New York City. They do not feel, quote, fortunate to get the World Cup. It is expected that you're going to get it, or Los Angeles, or those kind of places. But when you're in a market like Kansas City, when you're in a city like Kansas City and you get this, and you understand that you only get one shot to do it, you are going to make the absolute most out of that situation, and that's what I've seen Kansas City do. So I think it's really a culmination of all of those things. I think Kansas City has shown pretty routinely that we show up for major sporting events. And this is just not only a regular major sporting event, we also play an important part in the major sporting event. So I think that's part of it. I also think, in conjunction with what you're saying about Sporting Kansas City, I think Power and Light deserves a lot of credit for this too, because somewhere along the line, Power and Light has made it where if you were going to watch a soccer game out anywhere, there's only one place in the city you need to be to go watch that game, and it's down there. And that didn't just start over the last couple of years. That's been the case for a while now. They've been doing those live look-ins in Kansas City for quite some time. And it's never 50% full. It's never 75% full. It's 120% full when it comes to that, in a way that it's not like for anything else. It's crazier out there than it is for the Big 12 tournament every single year. So they deserve a lot of credit for making that place to be the hub where if you want to go out and watch soccer and be in a crazy environment, that's the place to go do it. And when you think about in America, like not just in Kansas City, if you were talking about, hey, there's going to be a United States watch party for this soccer event, where's the best place to watch it? Kansas City and Power and Light is near the top of the list to do it. And you would never guess that if you were not from here.
Like I said, there's a lot of people who deserve a lot of credit along the way. But it has been great to see Kansas City embrace soccer. And I remember when Sporting first put on the side of their stadium, the soccer capital of the United States. And I went, that's good marketing. That's good branding. I didn't think about it as a real thing. I think it's a real thing. I mean, I would bet if we called Danny and said, hey, how is the World Cup received in New York? I bet he's like, oh, yeah, people like it. It is not the way there it is here. If we called, Salk in Seattle and said, hey, how is Seattle receiving the World Cup? It's not there like it is here. It is something that has happened over time, and Kansas City has fully embraced being a soccer town, more so than any town in America has been.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, would a U.S. World Cup final game come close to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I mean, last year, for example, the Super Bowl averaged 125 million American viewers. I don't think the soccer championship would do that. I think it could get close to like the AFC-NFC championship game, though. I think that's probably where I think it would go.
I think it would really matter who they're playing. I think USA-France would do better than an AFC title game. I don't know if it would do Super Bowl numbers, but I think it would be a standalone 2 because you're getting a world power in France like that. Like that, the other team also matters in that capacity a lot too, because the average fan knows Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, so hold on. I'm trying to pull up these numbers here while we're talking about it. So, for example, the Chiefs and Ravens, when they played in the AFC Championship game, it got to 55.4 million. That was the average. It peaked at 64 million viewers. I think that's a fair comparison for what I think the U.S. would do in the World Cup final. I mean, right now it's at 17, 18. So that'd be, 5 times the amount of people that watch one of those games? That feels about right to me.
It'd also be standalone on a Sunday, too.
And you got to also think, nobody hates the NFL. Not the way that people there are a group of people that just hate soccer and will never embrace it and I don't care what's going on. You don't really have that with the Super Bowl. We see that as a yearly event at which people gather and that's what they want to do. So yeah, people are going to watch it. I just don't think you're getting to, that last year's game was not good. That was not a good Super Bowl. People didn't like the game. People didn't like the halftime show. 125 million Americans watched the Super Bowl. No, I do not think that is the number they would get for the World Cup final.
No, it would. I think it would do really big numbers. I don't know it would do 125 million. I think people can't really struggle to conceptualize how many people that really is.
No, people are saying a ton of viewers. No, I 100% agree with you. I just don't think it's in the 125. I would be surprised if it got to that number.
I could see 80. Yeah. I could see it being a standalone second most viewed behind the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
easy.
I agree. I guess my point more than anything is, to think that it would do the Super Bowl, that's talking about that's a 900% increase of where they already are. That's a significant difference. A significant difference from where their starting point is. Right now, as big as we think it is with the United States, they are doing worse than what Sunday Night Football does on a Week 6 game. People are into it. That's a big jump to go from that to the Super Bowl, I think, at least in my opinion. All right, coming up on the other side, as great as Saturday was, there was one thing that everybody was mad about. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Look, let's be real for a second. When it comes to performance, good just isn't good enough, just like the teams that we cheer for, and that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Introducing Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting, more confidence, and a whole new level of readiness. And I've told you before, confidence is key. You know it the same as I do. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now, with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. It's not just about function anymore. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. They're turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport, so go for gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family-owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit FreedomFamilyFireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let me tell you guys about my friends over at Gates Barbecue. And with 5 area locations, you can celebrate world-class championship soccer and Kansas City culture with our friends over at Gates Barbecue. Maybe you got somebody in from out of town. Maybe they're coming in for Independence Day, the 4th of July. So you got family coming in. We got international visitors. What place to take them than to some of that official Kansas City authentic barbecue taste? Go take them to go get the nooner. Go take them to get the beef on bun, heavy on the sauce, please. Go take them to get the ribs. Maybe you're having a watch party for all the soccer that we're having. You can get the small party tray, the large party tray. You can go get the presidential platter. I'm telling you, next time you're there, you got to get the fries. You got to have them season the fries. You also got to make sure that you get the burnt E-Mac. It's moving up the list of one of my favorite sides in Kansas City. If there's one thing we got here in Kansas City, we got great barbecue sides. The burnt E-Mac, it's definitely on that list. Again, with 5 locations around town, there's even one right around the corner from Kansas City Stadium. So if you're leaving the game this week, what better place to celebrate everything than with our friends over at Gates Barbecue? And also remember, especially with the 4th of July coming up, the next time you're at the grocery store, make sure you get some of the sauce. Make sure you get some of the seasons for your own cookout. I know you guys love to grill. If there's one thing I've learned over the last couple of days of doing the show, it's that you guys love to grill. So you buy all the sauces and all the seasonings and do the grilling for me since I can't. It's Carrington here telling you about our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Honey, did you invite the Minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Pay for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Downtown, we've got the stall block in the right lane, 70 westbound, just past Prospect. Down, let's see, 470 westbound past Raytown. That's a stall block in the right lane, 470 westbound. At Blue Ridge, that's a right lane blocked there by a stall. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
This is a good question that just popped up on my social media feed. We are in extra time right now between Germany and Paraguay. It is 1-1. We are in the 94th minute. Rob, I know I'm going to do the American thing. Why do we not do golden goal in the extra time? Because if you give up a goal in the extra period, that should just end the game. You lost. You get more time to try to score again to get the penalty kicks? No, we played for 90 minutes. It was tied. We're going to play for another 30 minutes. If you give up a goal in that 30-minute time, you lose the game. That seems fair to me.
I mean, American sports don't do sudden death in overtime anymore, so it's the same. It's the same concept. Play with a clock. Now, I hate PKs. I hate it. I hate PKs. I understand the allure. I hate that's how we finish games, but I don't like golden goal. I would do 30 minutes and then golden goal but instead of PKs, but I do think 30 minutes of time is correct.
Would you let them have more subs if you go to the time?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't give them like 4 or 5 more. I'd give them like an extra one because you played 120.
So you get to 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then if
I wouldn't mind throwing a couple extra subs in there.
Because like look at this game. Paraguay's got 3 subs left. Let's say they went through all 120 in my world. They played golden goal.
They could use the 3.
They could get an extra one, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know.
But I know that I am kind of standalone, at least when it comes to people talking about I understand the drama. I think it's fun television PKs, but I think it's a bad way to end games.
Yeah, I don't mind the PK. I mean, I certainly get it, but yeah, if in this extra time, if you give up a goal, that should end the game, in my opinion. You lost. Like with this, you can't say it's not fair. Like it's not like baseball where the first run in baseball shouldn't end the game because in that case, like why should the other team not get a chance to hit, right? Like that, that you shouldn't be at a disadvantage in that context if you don't get to hit. But it's not like only one team gets possession in soccer. Both teams get chances in soccer to score. We've given you enough chances. You lose the game. That would just be my soccer suggestion from my American brain. All right, another suggestion that I have. We were talking about this earlier. I want to bring it back for people that mention it. Why do soccer fans hate water? Because they say that they're taking a hydration break. And we all understand that water is important. Water is 70% of the Earth's surface? How much of our body is made out of water? Water is very important. And I'm at the game, and they announced they're doing a hydration break. I thought that people would cheer and people would be excited. Hey, you guys are replenishing your electrolytes. You guys are getting the fuel that you need to compete at the absolute highest level here in the World Cup. It's Kansas City. It's hot. You're running. You're sweating. You're losing important nutrients. Why don't you get some of those nutrients by going to get you a drink for a little bit? That's what I would guess. The only 2 times that they booed at this event that I was at, they booed 2 times. They booed for the first hydration break and the second hydration break. I mean, noticeable, loud. They booed how Chiefs fans would boo if the official missed a pass interference, and then they showed it again on the replay. That's how they were booing.
Yeah, it's not the water they're booing, because I joined them in booing, and I booed loudly.
They hate water.
They hate what it stands for. It's just greed and, corporate success. That's what the hydration break is, because we got to get more commercials in, and it's gross. I did like how Arrowhead, Kansas City Stadium, came out
call it the right thing.
Came out as one galvanizing group that said boo to the hydration break.
Keep calling it Kansas City Stadium.
You should just call all the stadiums in the NFL by their name. What's the new Buffalo one? Who knows? Buffalo Stadium.
Yeah, I might just start calling it when you guys are like, oh, man, you don't just come into Kansas City Stadium and think you're leaving with the win. Like, you can't expect that. It might be Kansas City Stadium. The same way that it was going to be the Washington football team, it might be Kansas City Stadium for now and forever. Someone says we're booing because of the commercials. If there's one thing that we have accepted in our sports, it's commercials. So them having 2 commercial breaks in soccer, it doesn't even really bother me. It doesn't. Now, I understand on a very serious note, like if you're a purist and you've been watching soccer for a long time and now in the middle, they just throw a commercial in the middle of it. Like, I get it. I understand. But I just watch so many other sports where we have so many commercial breaks. I have accepted that as part of the experience. It doesn't bother me. Like, if you love college basketball, then they take 4 hydration breaks. In a half, they take 4 hydration breaks. They have a hydration break, they have a halftime, and then they keep getting hydration breaks. I'm just kind of used to it. Some of you like baseball. They take a hydration break every half inning. They don't just instantly just turn around and go back out there. They keep taking breaks. So I guess I'm just so used to it. This argument, text line, the only reason they've added them is so they could input commercials by splitting it. Even indoor matches have hydration breaks, and they're playing in air conditioning. It's ridiculous. Well, I mean, just because you're playing in air conditioning don't mean you don't get hot. I mean, when you work out at the gym, they got air conditioning on in there. You don't ever stop and get a drink of water? Like, that part doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even understand that point. I've seen people making it before. We're saying that if you're inside working out, you don't need water? I don't get it. I mean, yes, they have turned it into a commercial break, but it's not even that long. How long are these hydration breaks? 2 minutes?
Yeah, but it's never happened in sports, in this sport at least.
This is, to me, when people started complaining about having commercials during NFL Red Zone, ended up being like 2 minutes and 7 hours. I'm like, oh, this is the slippery slope we're talking about.
Yeah, and this year when it's 5 minutes in the NFL Red Zone, you're going to hear more complaining because we should get what we want without having to kowtow to corporate greed.
You know what? I don't want to hear anybody who cheers for the end. Like, you're an NFL fan. You sit there through a team scores a touchdown, they kick an extra point, they go to commercial break, they come back from commercial break, they then kick the ball off, and then they go to another commercial. And we have just accepted that that's great. Germany just scored in the 101st minute, little header on a corner kick. So Germany, they are taking a 2-1 lead right now against Paraguay. Yeah, these hydration breaks, Rob, they're 3 minutes. They're 3 minutes. I'm not getting mad at this. I don't have it in me to be mad at these little 2-3 minute breaks that they have for a hydration break. Do they do the hydration breaks in the extra time? Or no, they got the general stop.
They have a natural stop in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not that upset about that. We just watch so many commercial breaks that I've accepted that this is part of life.
But those are in sports that don't have a running consistent clock. This sport's not supposed to have the stoppage, and they just out of thin air were like, "Yep, we're having one. We're getting ads. Suck it, nerds." That's what FIFA told us.
Yeah. See that it's about the principle, corporate greed. all of the sports that we watch are greedy. All of them. I guess we have these conversations enough, and I feel like I've argued them so much. You guys are like, oh, well, NFL's king. Like, them giving as many games as they give away to these other markets is corporate greed. Them playing on Christmas is corporate greed. Them playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and all of these things is corporate greed. Yeah, on the corporate greed scale, adding a 3-minute commercial break is just not that high up to me. It's very, very small down the list. I don't care. That's fine with me. So as somebody who doesn't watch it, them stopping to take a commercial break is par for the course. That's all we do is stop for commercial break. We will watch them review something, and they'll just use it to take a commercial break. They'll just do commercials in the middle of it. Hey, this is a really important time where this will determine on whether or not who has possession of it. Hey, we'll do that right after we come back from this commercial break. Okay, all right, well, I'll be back here. I'll be here. So, yeah, I guess this is just small on a list for me. On a scale from 1 to 10, my rage for when it comes to this is a 2. It's very, very small.
I'm like a 6. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not like, rage against the dying of the light.
Real quick.
We got some VAR. Speaking of things soccer purists say, we got some VAR check right now in this Germany match.
Oh, offsides?
No, they say hit the goalie here.
Who did?
Watch the right. Hit him right there.
Oh, the guy on his team?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't. What's that penalty? Like a moving screen?
That essentially they're going to say that he got hit with a moving screen, which prevented him from making the save.
I mean, he does make contact with him for sure.
Make contact with him.
He definitely made contact with him. I don't know if he would have stopped it.
I don't think so either.
I don't know.
We didn't get a VAR check in our game. VAR check is a wild ride.
Hold on. Now they gave him a yellow card. Are they going to take the goal away?
This is where
what
audio.
Are we doing here?
This is where
What's
audio
happening?
would have been nice. He's saying it. Let's see.
Oh, we can't. You play the audio there. We'll both be fired.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting fired with the audio.
We'll be fired before you let a note play. FIFA don't play around. FIFA won't even let us say watch party.
No goal.
We can't even. Oh, they took the goal away.
Took the goal away.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow. So if you missed it, Germany took the lead. This whole time they don't stop the clock? Oh, my goodness. I don't understand soccer. We can't even stop the clock during a long replay? So Germany had a corner kick. They scored a goal. They reviewed it. One of the Germany players made contact with the goalie before the goal. So they're saying that stopped his ability to save it. So they took the goal away.
And then on the backside, they then accused the Paraguay player of time wasting and gave him a yellow card.
How could you time waste? They were reviewing it.
They said that he intentionally laid down to force a VAR review.
That's funny. I at least appreciate that. That's funny to me.
Because they weren't going to go to VAR. Guy just fell to the ground. Coach just got a yellow card. So this is.
You can give a coach a yellow card?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I learned so much about soccer in the last little bit.
Both coaches getting yellow cards. Just handing them out.
Both coaches got a yellow card. I mean, I guess like in basketball, you can give the bench a technical.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sure there's been a time where one of Dennis Gates' assistants gets chirpy and gets popped.
Oh, for sure. I didn't know that both coaches got one. And then they gave a player one, right? You said the player for laying down. They gave out 3 yellow cards. There's more yellow cards on this than goals. This is crazy. All right, well, I mean, there's nothing else now. That's the end of it. We thought Germany had taken the lead, but they,
we got another 15. Not us. We got another 15 if they stay tied.
Who's on after us today?
Logan. By the way, Bennett Sturtz will be on the show tonight with Logan
shout
at
out
8
to
o'clock.
Logan. That's a really good get.
I hope they ask him, hey, why didn't you go to K-State?
I'm sure they will. Oh, hold on there. Oh. Why did he kick it that way?
Offside.
Oh, okay, I was like, hold on. That's not the way you should go. I don't know much about soccer, but you shouldn't be kicking it that direction. That's your goal. Kick it the other way. All right, well, this was I had a really fun show today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. It was a very enjoyable experience. We got a lot of everything. We talked a lot of soccer and women's professional basketball today. That's how you know.
That's how you know the Royals got smoked 22-1 over the weekend.
I'm done talking about them. They're just upsetting. Well, I'll tell you this. The Royals got saved by this World Cup. Because if the World Cup hadn't been going on, it would have been fired Mike Quatraro radio on 96.5 The Fan today. All right, well, we had a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with